Ah, it's Mo-chan. In
front of my daughter's gaze stood a pair of friends who I don't like. Anzu, are you going out to eat? Hurry up. My daughter ran to her friend even though I was holding her hand. I didn't want to meet that parent and child. I'm sure they'll say something sarcastic again. I signaled to my husband with my eyes and shrugged. Oh, isn't that Nami? Going out with the family? After looking my husband over from head to toe, she went to me at Kitazono. My husband is a first-class TV personality. He's always busy. He's on a business trip overseas this week. In comparison, how can your otaku husband have time to play on a weekday? He must be so carefree. She doesn't listen to what anyone else is saying and tries to dominate us. Huh, you're Okada-san, right? He's from my company. Huh? Hearing what my husband said, her expression changed immediately. My name is Nami. I'm a 35-year-old part-time housewife. I spend my days peacefully and happily with my husband, who is the same age as me, and our 7-year-old daughter. I met my husband at a transportation company where I worked as a clerical officer after graduating from high school. In the spring of our 10th year together, I fell in love at first sight with my husband, who had just been hired as a large truck driver. I liked his face, but what was even more striking was his beautiful biceps. You might be wondering what I was looking at, but, President, I'd like to stop driving long distances for a while, but I've met someone I'm thinking of marrying. I remember the day my husband asked the president like it was yesterday. What? We'd only been dating for a month, and I hadn't even heard him say he wanted to get married. I was so surprised that I let out a cry. Is it no good? Of course not. When I replied, yes, please, there was a huge round of applause. Our marriage was blessed by everyone at the company. Our daughter, who was born the following year, is now in the first grade of elementary school. I'll be a big sister soon. Will I have a little brother? Will I have a little sister? I'm excited. My daughter Anzu asks with a big smile while rubbing my belly. I wonder which one it is. Which is better? Let's see. After much deliberation, I decided to embrace my greedy daughter, who is excited about both her younger brother and sister, and feel truly happy. It's because I couldn't give birth to the child I had gotten pregnant with 2 years ago. The hospital told me that the initial upset wasn't anyone's fault, but it was my fault for not taking it easy. Maybe it was my fault for pushing myself to work while my daughter was at kindergarten. I thought it would be a part-time job sorting and preparing products in the warehouse, but maybe carrying heavy luggage was a burden. Thinking about it makes my chest tighten. Anzu, you have school tomorrow, so let's go to bed now. I'm waiting for Daddy to come home. She's not asleep yet. It's no wonder my daughter is being selfish. She hasn't seen her beloved father in 3 days. My husband, who is a truck driver, comes home at different times each day, but for the past week, he's been coming home after my daughter has gone to bed. I'm sure my husband wants to see our daughter too. Anyway, my husband is a busy man, but he takes pride in his work, so I couldn't say anything forceful. If my older sister doesn't go to sleep, the baby won't either. Well then, I'm going to bed. Good night. I thought it was a bit forceful, but it was already past 9 o'clock. Putting Mao's daughter to bed was hard, but every day, seeing her cute face made all that disappear. After making sure my daughter was asleep, I went from the nursery to the living room. Oh, welcome home. It seems I had also fallen asleep with my daughter for a bit, and my husband had already returned home. I'm home. He came in quietly, thinking it was time for Azu to go to bed. It would have been better if Nami had gone to bed earlier. Thank you. My husband is kind to me while I'm pregnant. I thanked him for that as I reheated the curry for dinner. Now that I think about it, Azu and Momo-chan go to the same elementary school. Huh, we're in the next class, but what's with my husband? My hand stopped as I was writing about the curry pot. We're not guilty. We're not guilty, but hearing that name made my heart ache as I was thinking about how we're not the same. Why are you asking me that? No, I'm sorry. Can't you still forget about that? There's no way I could forget about Nami. The unpleasant memories from 2 years ago came back to me, and I started to yell at the cockroach again. Okada Momo-chan. This was the name of my best friend when I was in kindergarten. Unlike the shy Momo, she was sociable and caring. Momo-chan. They were as close as sisters. However, just because children are close doesn't mean their parents are close. Natsumi, are you off work today? Yes, I am, but I'd like you to look after Momo after kindergarten. I want to make an appointment at the hair salon and nail salon. Momo-chan's mom asked me in a sweet voice. I already made the appointment. It's a shame to bother you on your day off. Well then, please do. Oh, I'll go ahead, but please make Momo some homemade snacks. I wondered if that was why she asked me when my next day off was. It can't be helped, since the children are close. The days I look after Momo were busy, cleaning up after the new year and making homemade snacks. If you don't want her to eat store-bought sweets, at least make some yourself and give them to her. I thought that to myself, but I couldn't bring myself to say it out loud. She was a troublesome person who would get upset if I asked her to do anything. I put up with it for my daughter's sake. But that person, yes, Momo-chan's mom was the kind of person who didn't even try to consider other people's feelings. Natsumi, that's too bad for the baby. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. I'll help you. She approached me, who was physically and mentally exhausted, as if she was trying to talk to me. Huh? I didn't want to make it public, so I only told Momo-chan's mom. I can't believe she said that in front of so many moms. We're all in this together when we're in trouble. I still regret having asked her to look after my daughter for just one day that day, when I couldn't rely on my parents who lived elsewhere and my husband was away. Because she got to my ears after I had been relying on her. She was forcing herself to enroll her in a private school even though she couldn't afford it. I guess she wanted to hide the fact that she was working part-time, but she found out at the mountain. Even though I finally got a baby. The poor's immorality is the worst. Don't you think it's mom's fault that I got caught? Momo-chan's mom was talking bad about me behind her smile. Another mom friend told me that it was such terrible gossip, but that was none of her business. It was an unnecessary party. Other people's misfortunes taste sweet. I was hurt by Momo-chan's mom's last resort. I tried to distance myself from her after that. However, during spring break, when I was looking forward to starting elementary school in April, I suddenly got a phone call from her. Natsumi, it's the weekend, but Momo wants to go to Anzu-chan's house. Can I tell you too? I'm sorry. I'm busy. You don't have weekends off from your part-time job, right? Well, Anzu-chan and I go to the same elementary school. So what? Doesn't she realize that I'm avoiding her? I was irritated by her insensitivity, talking to me as if nothing had happened. Anzu-chan, have you changed your study desk? Huh? Why are you asking me that? I answer coldly and businesslike. Momo told me that Anzu-chan doesn't even have a study desk yet. I can't tell her the truth, so I swallow my words. Actually, we were planning to move from the apartment to Kote when Anzu starts elementary school. This is the only person I don't want to know my new address. The study materials are already in the children's room in the new house. I was planning to surprise my daughter with them. Thank you for your concern. Are those the only requirements? No, they're not. Also, what brand of school bag did you get? Well, it wouldn't matter what brand it is if you asked about the color. This guy has been nagging me ever since kindergarten. Even Momo-chan's casual clothes are all brand name clothes. You see, if you want to be friends with my Momo, you need to have something expensive. Huh? That's why I'm thinking of asking you to show me this weekend. If it's not a good match for Momo, I'd hate to say this, but I'd like you to stop being friends with her. This is what it means to be so astonished that you can't say anything. I sigh and take Chiki away from my ear. Natsumi, are you listening? You're having a baby soon, right? If you're having financial trouble, I can help you buy a desk. I was fed up with her voice coming from the reception, so I turned off the call button for this horrible person. On the day of the elementary school entrance ceremony, my daughter happily put on the purple school bag she had chosen for herself. The days of waiting for the baby to be born had settled down, and I was filled with joy and tension at the thought of starting a new life. I hate Anzu. I hope she makes friends. Yeah. It's sad that she had to leave Momo-chan though. Yeah, that's right. I hope she makes new friends. I feel bad for my daughter, but I honestly thought she was in a different class. I wish she had a mom friend who shares my values. I hope she meets a new friend like that, but I won't tell my daughter. Good luck, Nami. Did you end up buying Anzu-chan a desk? Oh, here she comes, here she comes, here she comes. Momo-chan's mom, who had the air of a final boss in her mouth, called out to me. Thanks to her, we bowed slightly and left the place without saying a word. I hope you have a healthy baby this time. The precious laughter of Momo-chan's mom, heard behind me, made my brain shift and I started sweating. I feel the same. I have to leave this place before it becomes the past. I couldn't breathe because I was so sad and miserable until I entered the classroom for class 2, year 1 with my daughter. I can't bear it anymore for my daughter's sake. There's no need to force myself to date someone I don't want to date. I decided that I had to be strong for the sake of my beloved daughter and the baby that was about to be born. Are you ready, Anzu? Dad has the day off today, so he can drop you off. Yes, I'll change right away. Anzu was overjoyed and started getting ready to go swimming. She started swimming when she was in kindergarten. She goes to class once a week. I sent Momo-chan to school so she wouldn't be left at home, but that was just her mother's ego. Anzu loves swimming, doesn't she? I'm glad I let her do it, as expected of a mother. When my husband told me that, it really hurt my heart. It's a relief that Anzu likes swimming. I want to have dinner with Pa and Mama on the way home. I understand. My husband answers with a big smile and seems happy. My husband is worried about the birth of the baby, so he's been picking her up for a while, so he's going with her today to prepare for the birth. It's been a while since the three of us had a leisurely meal out. We probably won't be able to do that for a while. I'm happy. I got into the back seat, thanking my husband in my heart for being kind and supportive of childcare. At that time, I didn't think I would meet someone who would ruin my little happiness. Ah, it's Momo-chan. The parking lot of the swimming pool facility. In the direction of my daughter's gaze, there was a mom friend who I don't get along with. I had heard that they went to the same swimming school, but I think Momo-chan was there on the weekend. I had never met her before, so I was relieved. I immediately looked at her. You're going to eat with Anzu, right? Hurry up and go. My daughter ran to her friend even though I was holding her hand. I didn't want to see that parent and child. I'm sure she'll say something mean to me again. I signaled to my husband with my eyes and shrugged. Oh, isn't that Nami? Going out with the family? After looking my husband over from head to toe, she went to me on the northern edge. My husband is a first-class TV personality. He's always busy. He's on a business trip this week. In comparison, how can your nerdy husband have time to play on a weekday? He must be so easygoing. She started talking one-sidedly and tried to dominate me. Oh, I'm sorry. We went to the same swimming school, not going out. I guess I could afford to send her to lessons. My husband and I ignored her, who was always busy. But the phrase, reading the mood, wasn't in her dictionary. Right now, my husband is on a business trip to France. We're thinking of going on vacation when summer break comes. Oh, it's my husband. What was funny about that story? I guess it can't be helped since I don't know anything about her biology. I've decided to just ignore her. Husband, why are you laughing? Well, whatever. Yeah, I've got a good idea. Here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. When she comes up with something, it's all evil. I swallow hard. Husband, does your job allow you to take days off during the week? Well, you can if you want to. He's a truck driver, so I'm sure he'll be flexible. That's just like you. She showed her disgust at her husband's casual appearance. I think it would be strange to see him in a suit to pick up and drop off the kids at swimming school, but I haven't seen Momo-chan here in so long that I want to ask her if she has a piano recital. Are you done? I think my husband is hungry after going to the pool with our daughter. When he's hungry, the weather gets rough. I wonder if I can ask him to pick up and drop off Momo from school from now on. Why, you see, I told you earlier. My husband is a top company executive. I want her to continue taking A-class conversation classes, as well as piano and ballet. So, that's why I'm thinking of making swimming lessons weekdays. Why don't you do that? I laughed at my husband's matter-of-fact response. I'm saying I'm busy too. While Momo is at the gym, she can go to the hair salon. She's saying that picking her up is a waste of time. Your husband must be free. How much would it cost to pick her up? I don't need any money. No thanks. Let's go eat, Anzu. Was she annoyed by her husband's firm refusal? Her lips twisted. You two can't afford to eat out. I can, but don't judge whether or not you have money based on your job. My usually mild-mannered husband ended his sentence harshly. Let me say it again. I'm hungry. I hate drivers because they start talking loudly and rudely. It's really the worst. Momo-chan and Anzu-chan are in different classes. Momo-chan starts crying when she strokes her head. Mom, why are you saying that? I wish I was in the same class as Anzu-chan. It was obvious that she wasn't crying because she was scared of her husband's voice. Her husband strokes Azu's head as she starts crying. It must be tough not being able to be the same. It's okay. I can't make you the same, but I can ask Momomo-chan's father to take the day off during the week. Why are you saying that? It's Mr. Okada, right? He works part-time at our company. Not only Momo-chan's mother was surprised by her husband's shocking statement, but I was too. Don't lie. I'll call my husband now. Panicking a little, she takes out her smartphone and calls her husband. I think he's driving now. That's right. If the roads aren't busy, I think he'll arrive at the office around 8 p.m., her husband tells her while looking at his watch. Her face turns red and blue as she repeatedly taps the screen of her smartphone. It's no use calling Okada-san. I have him turn off the power while driving because it could lead to an accident. Her husband's nonchalant attitude made her panic even more and she crouched down on the spot. My first husband doesn't have a large vehicle license. That's impossible, Futsuki. If you think I'm lying, come to my company to confirm. I got him a license because he wanted to work for me. What do you mean by, my company? Her husband hands her his business card as she sits down. Are you kidding me? Was Anzu Chan's father the president of that famous transportation company? Yes, but I, who had been ignoring her for a long time, slowly opened my mouth. He became president after taking over from his father-in-law who had destroyed it. That's right. Her husband decided not to take over the family business, so he graduated from university in Tokyo and got a job at Kochi. However, it must not have suited his personality. He said he would take over the overworked company just before he turned 30. Her father-in-law was strict with her son, her husband, to see if he had any flaws as a driver. He made him drive long distances so that he could experience firsthand the difficulties of the field. This world is not easy. I also worked in the warehouse and helped my father-in-law with his work. Just because he's the president doesn't mean he has any authority. What are you talking about? Okada-san, my husband works part-time at the company you call the bottom. Don't just say things that come out of your mouth. She must have been really upset because she tore up the business card he gave her and said, "If it's a lie, I'll sue you for damage to my reputation." At 8 p.m., Shiraha and I rented out the office of the transportation company where her husband is the president. Knowing what would happen, I sent Anzu and Momo-chan to another room and turned up the music volume. Explain what's going on. Flaring her nostrils, she cornered her husband. I can understand why he wanted to attack, but he drove a long distance and came back safely. First, let your husband eat and rest. What are you talking about? Since when did you know, Nami-san? You knew and kept it a secret from me. She glared at her husband, angered by my words. My wife really didn't know until today. She hates you so much that mentioning your name would bring back memories. How awful. She covered her face and started crying. Anyone would be shocked to hear that they were hated. I shook my head at my husband to tell him not to say anything more. He was a good person deep down. No, people like this don't know unless someone tells them straight. Her crying got louder and louder, and her nose was running. Her makeup came off and she was bare-faced. She was a different person. Kamo-chan's mom had such small eyes. If I were the president, I would tell her. Everyone hates you. Just thinking about going home to where you are makes it all go by. Everyone. More importantly, why did you change jobs without telling me? It can't be helped since you were laid off. I came to Miyako after being laid off and consulted with Takayuki-san, the president. Was I laid off? Why didn't you tell me something so important? What would you have done if I had told you? Would you have held my hand? Would you have comforted me? Would you have tried to solve it together? You'd only go crazy. So why would you consult Nami's husband of all people? Because he's your best friend's dad. Takayuki-san, spoke to Kasaku at the entrance ceremony and asked him if he was feeling down and was concerned about him. You were probably too busy trying to dominate the other moms to notice. Are you stupid? I can't believe you'd show weakness to this family. I'm not satisfied unless I'm in a higher position than Nami-san. I can't believe your way of thinking, but I couldn't help but sigh at her baseless words. Why don't you stop? If you keep bad-mouthing the president's family, I'll even consider divorce. Huh? My husband and I exclaimed in unison in surprise. I was even moved by his determination to defend us to that extent. I hate moms who talk badly about Anzu Chan's family. If you keep saying anything more, you'll become Anzu Chan's bastard. Huh? Since when did you listen to adults? Kamo Chan took Azu's hand and pleaded with tears. I understand. Being hated by your daughter is the most damaging thing. She collapsed on the spot. Here's the epilogue. She had promised not to say bad things about anyone at the office anymore, but boys don't change easily. It seems that her husband, who was trying to warn her, had also completely lost his love for her. Furthermore, he had spread bad things about her on the group line of his mom friends, and she had become isolated. Unable to bear it, he made a plan to transfer Momo Chan to another school, but her husband took Momo Chan and left the house. He began living in an apartment near my house under the pretext of a so-called separation. He had no intention of returning until his wife truly changed her mind and sincerely apologized. He said this firmly. She had truly become isolated and unrelated. I'm sorry for your loss. Meanwhile, I gave birth to a cute baby boy. Anzu fed him milk. Anzu has completely taken on the face of an older sister. Next is Momo Chan. The baby bottle passes from Anzu's hand to Momo Chan's. Anzu and Momo Chan remain good friends even though they are in different classes. They often come home from school together and wait at home on swimming school days. Shall we go to swimming school? Momo Chan's dad says to them with a smile. My husband prioritizes Momo Chan's and Papa's requests for time off so that he can pick them up. As expected of a husband. It seems that Momo Chan's dad is surprisingly suited to his job as a truck driver and is working hard to get promoted from part-time to full-time. Mom has made snacks and is waiting for them.
Yay. I'm off. I'm
not making them because someone told me to. It's endearing to see Anzu and Momo Chan happily eating them and saying they're delicious. In order to protect Saya's happiness, I'll clearly say that I don't like things. I'll minimize my relationship with people I don't like. If I'm hurt, I'll try to forget about it. People who talk bad about others are pitiful. My heart is beautiful because I can forgive such people. I let myself live like this and the time I spend kneading cookie dough is peaceful. My name is Yoko. I'm 59 years old. I'm just an ordinary senior citizen who likes to take walks along the riverbank every day. Until a few years ago, I had a husband. Today, I'd like to hear about my life when I was married. I met my husband Yoko through an arranged marriage. My aunt was worried that I was still single and living in the countryside even after I was in my 30s, and I had no experience with romance, so she brought me one man's love letter after another. One of them was my husband. In this day and age, not getting married is an option, but back then, being single was looked down upon by older people, especially in the countryside. My father had retired at an early age, and I was living with my mother, so the words, "my parents will be worried," weighed heavily on me. To be honest, I had no desire to get married, but I decided to marry my husband to reassure my parents. I chose him not because I liked him, but because he worked for a reputable company and was the successor to a well-known singing house in the countryside, so I seemed trustworthy. The other candidates for arranged marriages were from different places, or were too old, so I didn't feel like I could relate to them. But I was really naive at the time. About 10 years after we got married, my husband suddenly told me to go out and work. Apparently, he had taken refuge in gambling to escape stress at work, but his losses piled up and he was in debt. Most of the money he gave to our family for living expenses was money borrowed from other people. I found out after we got married that my husband was just working for a company and was completely incompetent at his job, and was basically a window dressing employee. Apparently, the successor to our family's Kashiwaya business was apparently begged by our eldest son, who had actually said he didn't want to take over the family business. As parents, we thought that if we left it to our second son, my husband, we would go bankrupt. My husband forgets what people say right away. His work is sloppy and inconsiderate, and he can't be trusted with customer service or behind-the-scenes work. Furthermore, his sense of economics is completely broken, and his spending habits and sense of work are completely inadequate. My husband is currently in a job where he's just lucky not to get fired, and his income hasn't increased much since he started working. Even so, we do have a minimum income, and I try to manage my finances well every day. That's why I was able to be a full-time housewife until then, but I never imagined that all that money was covered by debt. This is what it means to go from sunny to stormy. My husband apologized and cried, saying he would stop gambling. Seeing that, I believe that if he stopped gambling properly and we worked together to pay off the debt, everything would be fine. A week after this conversation, I immediately started working part-time at a nearby supermarket, stocking shelves. My husband worked in a place where wages were relatively low, earning 120,000 yen a month. Half of that went to paying off the monthly debt. That was far from enough to cover rent, utility bills, and food. However, my part-time job brought in around 670,000 to 670,000 yen a month, so that was enough to cover the debt. We lived frugally, never wasting money, never spending all of our money each month, and always trying to save up a little. We also learned to use our food wisely, buying cheap items, stockpiling them, and freezing them. Then one day, when I got home from work, my husband was home before me, which was unusual. It had never happened before that my husband had come home before me. I wondered why, so I called out to him. Instead of saying, "Welcome home," he just said, "Grandpa." My husband. I was told to hurry up and prepare dinner and the bath, so I said yes and headed off to prepare dinner and clean the bath. On the way, he said, "Oh, by the way, we're out of tea." I said yes again, then suddenly came to my senses. If I'd gone home first, couldn't I have done at least one of the things myself? By the way, our tea isn't expensive. We boil a cheap tea pack several times and use it. I don't clean the bathtub very carefully or anything. As for the meals, well, my husband probably wouldn't be able to do them, but leaving it to someone else made me realize that I had been responding to my husband's requests just like I did when I was a full-time housewife. But now that I think about it, my husband and I aren't touching each other, and we're both working. Why is it that all the housework is my job? Once you realize it, you start to notice things that you didn't notice before. Leaving your clothes lying around after taking them off and not even taking them to the bathroom, or what happens when you go to the bathroom and there's no toilet paper. When Sig is still in a mess when he goes to bed, he tells you to tidy up. All of these things make me want to tell him to do his own thing. Why on earth are you so condescending? The more I thought about it, the more irritated I became. But I was already exhausted, so I didn't say anything. Even thinking was too much for me. It was unusual for my husband to come home earlier than me, and it couldn't be helped that I hadn't thought of doing it earlier. I thought I'd forgive him today. But that night, something was wrong. Saying that, my husband threw his chopsticks while eating. The chopsticks clattered against the plate. We eat too many plain meals every day. Meat is always a staple, and today, after making us wait so long, what's with this plain dish? The menu for that day was tofu with minced meat sauce, and miso soup with garlic for the day of the harvest. It was certainly plain, but I don't have the money to make it fancy, so I can't use that many ingredients. Even today's ingredients were all things I bought in bulk when they were cheap and froze them. I thought I had put in the effort to make it into a proper dish. Besides, you can't say that after you made it for me. I'm sorry you didn't like the cooking, but if you're going to make me wait, I'd like you to at least help out with the housework, even if it's just a little bit. I wasn't angry at all. I asked him to do it if possible. I'm the breadwinner of this house, so how could I be so embarrassed? My husband, who grew up in the countryside in Kyushu and has a tendency to be stubborn, seemed to think that housework equals women's work. It was strange for a man to do women's work. My mother and grandmother all devoted themselves to my husband in this way, so I wouldn't say I didn't understand what he meant. But I wanted him to realize that it was strange to think that housework was women's work. My husband got angry and went to bed, so I ended up eating dinner alone, cleaning up the dining table, and preparing to take out the trash the next day before finally falling asleep. A few days later, when I got home from work, completely exhausted, I heard loud voices coming from inside the room. What could be the reason for loud voices in my house, where my husband and I live alone and have no children? I opened the door cautiously, thinking that there might be a burglar, and found my husband happily drinking with a man I didn't know. Oh, welcome back. This is my junior, Takarada. Say hello. My husband introduced me to his junior at the end of the day, but I was more concerned about what was on the table. A mishmash of fish meuniere, Japanese-style hamburger steak, vegetable sticks, and potatoes. I didn't eat it, so I don't know the details, but where did they get the ingredients for that extravagant dish and all that alcohol? Excuse me, ma'am. My senior asked me to use the kitchen. So my junior cooked instead of my husband, who can't cook. Yeah, I see. So, what happened to the ingredients? I asked, thinking it was unlikely, and my husband said, of course he used what was in the fridge. Don't be so stingy, quote. My junior laughed and said, I'm sorry, but he didn't seem to feel bad at all because my husband had given his permission. I hurriedly looked inside the fridge, and sure enough, the ingredients I had planned to use for this week, or maybe even next week, had secretly disappeared. I collapsed to my knees in disappointment. Oh, with that much food, I had planned to have almost no expenses this month. The high heat bill is due in a few days. We're also paying for air conditioning this month. That's why I wanted to have some leeway. Now that I think about it, the reverse table is making a fuss. Of course I paid for it. There's no way I'd let my junior pay for it. There was a spirit account, wasn't there? I was told that I paid for it after that. The spirit account is a savings account where I keep a little bit of money from my daily living expenses in case something happens. In life, there are times when unexpected things happen, such as life-threatening situations. I intended to keep the money so that I could withdraw it immediately in such cases. It's for both of us. But my husband, who doesn't think about the future, couldn't possibly understand that. Even in his 40s, it's not always possible to be healthy and energetic every day, so I'd rather him be ashamed of having to withdraw money from the account than pretend to treat his junior to meals. I hated my husband, who was ignorant of my pain and happily drinking with a big head in front of his junior. In the end, my husband did whatever he wanted that night, rolling the empty can of alcohol around and sleeping soundly without even seeing off his junior. He probably didn't care that I, exhausted as I was, stayed up late to see off my junior. I had saved enough money to feel secure that I could handle things for a few months if something happened, but now that it was spent, my mind was filled with thoughts of money. What if something were to happen? Once this month's payments are done, I'll have to worry about next month. What would happen to this house if I couldn't continue working part-time? My anxiety grew more anxious and wouldn't go away. The next morning, oblivious to what other people were thinking, my husband said nonchalantly that he had too much tea and rice for breakfast. There's no room for spare money anywhere in this house, so I wonder how much rice he thinks it costs. I've already spent money in ingredients, so I wish he would at least skip breakfast. Instead, I skipped breakfast and went to work part-time, but my heart gradually grew stronger. I was so worried about my livelihood that I started working part-time jobs at an izakaya in addition to my part-time job stocking shelves. I created my own bank account without telling God, and pooled the money I needed to save there. My husband had become irritated with me for going to work day and night and not doing housework, but I had also become more frustrated than before, so I refused to obey him and tell him to do it himself. I had a strong feeling that I wondered who he was to blame for this situation. About 6 months had passed since then. That day, my husband had come home before me again. I opened the door feeling a little depressed because I had no fond memories of this pattern. I was home. Oh. My husband had turned his back to me without even saying welcome home. However, his back felt small for some reason. I wondered what was wrong. I thought he didn't seem very energetic, but I didn't want the atmosphere in the house to be bad, so I tried to brighten up the mood as much as possible by asking him what we had for dinner and other things. Then my husband said something in a weak voice. I asked him again. He was fired from his job. Huh. I gasped. Well, I guess you could say it was strange that I hadn't been fired before. But why now, if he hadn't fired me before? Why again, I asked. My bosses were making a fuss just because I forgot to report a big deal at the company. They're making a fuss over something so small. I seriously didn't understand what my husband meant. Wasn't it because you caused damage to the company by neglecting to report it? You deserved to be fired. You weren't the one causing the damage, you were the one causing it. And you didn't even feel sorry about the situation. I had too much on my mind to put it into words, so I ended up keeping quiet. My husband must have thought I was shocked when he saw me like that. But it's okay. This is just another new horn. I got some ice beer and Matsusaka beef to celebrate. Ha! I finally managed to speak, or rather, I was almost screaming. As far as my husband knew, there was hardly any money left. Where did you get the money for those tens of thousands of yen? You're a nightmare. Were you excited about buying something expensive for the first time in a while? No, you're not. Where did you get that money? When I asked him, he replied, you must have borrowed it from someone. I couldn't believe it. Was he the kind of guy who would borrow money from others for such a trivial thing? When he got hooked on gambling, my husband said he would never borrow money from a financial company again. He didn't mean that if it was a personal loan, it wouldn't be included. It's not like our values are different, it's like the person in front of me is an alien. He's talking to me in an alien language I don't understand. Oh, my eyes are dizzy. Maybe space is a good thing. Do you understand that I have to pay that money back? I raised my voice in frustration and irritation. Shut up. It's okay at times like this. Don't be stingy. It's like a janky activity. Understand? If you're going to do a janky activity, at least bring up an event that gives you a reason to blame yourself. Stop blaming yourself for losing your job. How do you know this house is in trouble? Your lack of social skills and planning. At moments like that, my eyes suddenly get dizzy. What's wrong? Hey, what's wrong? Don't suddenly start giving money away in this house. Gia, call an ambulance. Huh? Something's wrong. My husband is looking down at me. As my consciousness fades, I can hear him repeating that he absolutely refuses. What is this? Is this a dream? Is he saying that he doesn't want to pay back his debts or live a stingy life? Ah, if only it were all a dream. The next time I woke up, I was surrounded by white walls. My mother was looking into my face with a worried look on her face. Her face instantly turned into a tearful expression as she shouted at the nurse. What was happening? Oh, thank goodness, my mother said as she hugged me. My consciousness gradually became clearer, and I realized that I was in a hospital room. Huh? What happened to me? You collapsed at home. You had a heart attack and had surgery, but I was so worried when they said you might not wake up. My mother hugged me even tighter while still crying. My mother's usual arms were much more cheerful than I remembered, and I felt bad for worrying her. It seemed that I had collapsed from a heart attack right after I had a fight with my husband. When I was told that, my memories gradually came back to me along with my irritation. However, the doctor told me that stress and fatigue might have had an effect, so I shouldn't think too much about what happened at that time. Apparently the reason my mother suspected stress was because I had a bald spot on my head when she saw me. I didn't even notice it myself. It's a little embarrassing. I didn't even know that a heart attack could be caused by stress, so I was just surprised by her explanation of my intentions. I later heard from the doctor that she had told my husband to get in the ambulance, but he refused to go with her. Apparently he refused, saying that if he was with a woman who seemed about to die at any moment, the love I had worked so hard to support would be wasted. It was beyond incomprehensible. I laughed. Even if I tried so hard to support Hara, nothing would change because he's already a hopeless person inside. My mother tried to confuse me by asking if things weren't going well with my husband. I didn't want to worry my mother, so I told her it was okay, that it would all be over soon. Yeah, let's just end it now. After I collapsed, I realized that my perspective had been too narrow up until now. Why didn't the word divorce ever cross my mind? Maybe it was because I got married because I was told my parents would worry if I didn't, so I thought they would be sad if I got divorced. But my mother was so worried about me falling ill. So I thought it would make my mother much happier if I chose to be healthy. Now, I had to get ready. A month later, I was finally able to join the team. My husband didn't even show up for me on the day he joined the team. I went straight from the hospital to the city hall and got the divorce papers. I filled out half of my suitcase and returned home. When I returned, my husband didn't even ask if I was okay, but said, "Oh, I'll make you some food." I smiled as hard as I could and handed him the divorce papers, saying, "Food, huh? From today on, you'll be alone. Make it yourself." Quote. When I said that, my husband looked dumbfounded. I thought he was incompetent at his job, but apparently he finally couldn't understand Japanese. He said he was going to divorce an incompetent man like you who can't get over his depression. Did he lose his mind after being hospitalized? Ignoring my husband's retort, I went to the drawer and took out my bank book. This money includes the money I earned at my runaway job and the money I had left over from my part-time job. My husband probably doesn't know that this money was used to cover living expenses when I was in trouble. From now on, you'll have to live on your own. I don't know how much you can manage on your salary, but it's none of my business anymore. Just sign the divorce papers and send them to your parents' house. When I said that, my husband raised his voice and said, "Wait a minute." He asked what I was going to do with the bank book. Money is more important than the divorce talk. I'll be fed up with it until the end. Whatever you do, this is my money. Do you know that I was able to live for a month after I got fired because I saved money? That money was your salary savings, but the money in this bank book was my salary savings. Shoshin Sho. It's my property, so I'll take it. Hey, don't mess with me. Leave the money behind. Ignoring my husband's voice, I went out the door and got into the taxi I had left waiting. Wait, don't mess with me. That's mine. My husband chased after the taxi in a panic, looking healthy. Zamiro. I wish they knew how hard I had been through in poverty. That was the moment I thought. Whoa. My husband's voice echoed. When I turned around, he was gone. Excuse me, driver. Please stop for a moment. I said that and got out of the taxi. The place was along a beautiful river where famous flowers bloom along the banks in season. However, just before the stop, I saw something dirty. It hurts, it hurts. Help me. Someone, anyone. Oh, it's my husband. Well, he's going to be a stranger, so he's just an acquaintance now. Apparently, he tripped while running in a hurry and fell off his feet. He's running in health sandals even though he doesn't exercise much. My husband must have spotted me and said, "Hey, call an ambulance, call an ambulance." I stopped and did nothing, but someone out for a walk noticed me and called an ambulance. It seemed like things were going to get interesting, so I went over to my husband. Does it hurt? Of course it does. It's your fault. Why did this happen to me? I guess it's because my heartache has returned. I answered with a smile. My husband's anger reached its peak and he tried to raise his hands to me and you, but it seemed he had a broken bone, so he just screamed and couldn't do anything. Ah, this is fun. The ambulance arrived quickly. My husband shouted to the ambulance crew that his wife was over there and that they should take her with them. The ambulance crew also asked me if I was his wife, so I firmly told them to go. No, I'm a stranger. But my husband kept shouting, "Don't mess around." She's my wife, so I gave up and thought he might be able to escape. She's my wife, but I'm planning to get a divorce, so I don't want to get involved. The ambulance crew looked between me and my husband in confusion, and after the colleagues exchanged winks, they asked me, somewhat apologetically, if I could accompany them to the hospital. I answered without hesitation. Absolutely not. My husband was screaming in a high-pitched voice, saying things like, "Have you forgotten all the favors I've done for you?" On. There's no way I'm going to be with a guy who's in debt and can't even afford a roll of toilet paper. When I said that, the paramedics looked at my husband with a slightly disdainful expression, thinking, that's just the kind of person he is. Shut up. Just get in the ambulance. How long do I have to stay here in pain? As expected of an idiot, he still doesn't seem to understand what I'm saying. I'll say it again, I'm breaking up with you. From now on, you have to take care of yourself. And with money too. When I said that, the paramedics gave up on persuasion and started preparing to drive away. Only my husband was squeaking. Oh, that's right. I paid for my own hospital bills, so you have to pay for them too. Well, there's probably less than 5,000 yen in your bank account. I said that with a half smile and got back into the taxi. Later, my husband asked me to get back together with him several times, but I ignored him. In the end, he seemed to give up and sent me the divorce papers that I had signed. He had been pushing me to get back together because he had a strong will. It seems that he had no choice but to go bankrupt and was looking for me as a worker. In the end, my husband's family, who had come to him crying because they had no money, learned of the situation and intervened, telling him to stop doing something embarrassing, but now they are living off of my ex-husband's part-time job. As for me, I haven't made a fortune by using my talents in the typical way. I live a rather average life, taking walks along the embankment where my husband fell and occasionally laughing as I remember him. I sometimes volunteer at a children's reading event on this embankment, and I work as a reader there. Because of this, when I come to this embankment, I often see many familiar children who come to play with me. Now this place is a place of healing for me. I went back to my family home right after the divorce, but eventually returned to my hometown, but I still visit my mother at her home regularly. Marriage was never the best way to be a parent. Seeing my mother like this was the best way to be a parent. I should have realized this sooner. It may not be special, but I feel that these ordinary times are precious now. I think that's because I know what it was like to be a parent when all I felt was stress. From now on, I will take care of the children in my hometown while taking care of myself and living a peaceful life. Ah, the sky and sunset I can see from my back today are beautiful. It's wonderful to be healthy.
私は美佐子、52歳。夫、竹弘59歳と大学生の娘、秋との3人暮らしだ。仕事はセーフレディをしている。夫は昔はこんな人ではなかった気がするが、年を取るごとに短気が増していった。特に店員さんへの態度と運転中の口の悪さはひどい。右折の原付がもたつけば窓を開けて、さっさと曲がれと怒鳴ってクラクション。スーパーのレジの人が買った寿司に割り箸をつけ忘れれば、手で食えって言うのかと怒鳴る低たらくだった。出かけるたびに夫の怒鳴り声を聞き続けることになるので、娘などは、もうお父さんと一緒に出かけたくない。と言い出す始末である。娘に避けられ始めると、なんで秋は俺に対してあんな態度なんだ？今更反抗期か？お前の育て方が悪いんじゃないのか？と私に切れてきた。見ず知らずの人に自分勝手なルールで怒鳴ったりするから娘が避けるようになっちゃったんだよ。と娘の代弁をしても、どっちが悪いことをしているんだ？向こうだろうが！と火に油を注ぐ結果になった。反抗期はどっちだ？それとも50年以上遅れてやってきたイヤイヤ期か？まったく立ちが悪い。どれも他人に怒る程度のことではないし、雰囲気を悪くするとか、そういう考えはないの？と逆に聞くと、それで雰囲気が悪くなると考える方がおかしい。それは秋が直すべきところだ。である。いよいよついていけないなぁと思い始めた。しかし、娘に避けられていること、私が話を流すことが面白くなくなってきたらしい。刃は私と娘にも向かってくるように。歯磨き粉がなくなっていればティッシュボックスが飛んできたり、朝ワイシャツが用意されてないとみかんが飛んできたりするようになった。ちょっと、あまりにも横暴すぎる。もはやお母さんと私が憂さ晴らしの対象になってるよ。と、ある時、娘が私に不満を爆発させた。ゆっくりと、バラバラ鼓膜の裏に音がする。家庭が壊れていく音。お母さんだって仕事もして疲れて帰ってきてるのに、歯磨き粉がないだけであんなに怒られてさ、挙句物を投げられるとか、理不尽もいいとこだよ。みかんとかティッシュなら怪我しないとか、そういう話じゃないよね。自分で用意すればいい話でしょ？ついていけないよ。いつ当たるかわかんない地雷を自ら踏みに行くわけにいかないよね。こうしてますます娘は夫を避けるように。夫はそれでさらに加速する。なんで俺に対する秋の態度があんなに悪いんだ！と洗面台を蹴って私を威嚇する。蹴られた洗面台から並んだ歯ブラシが音を立てて落ちた。バラバラ、バラバラ。この頃から私はともかく娘だけはこの夫の理不尽な魔の手から何とか逃がさないと思うようになった。冬になってワクチンを打ってはいたが、政府は外回りがメインの仕事なため、私は漏れなくインフルエンザにかかって寝込んでしまった。39度の高熱が出た。しかしタイミングが悪かった。義父が30のお祝いで揃って海外に行こうと言っていた日と重なったのだ。娘は大学のサークルがあるので行けなかったが、私、夫、義父、義母の4人で。時節柄コロナも疑ったが、今回はインフルエンザだった。そんなもの海外に行ってるうちに治るからついてこい。もう飛行機のチケットもホテルの宿泊券も取っちまってるんだよ。 と夫に命令された。しかし、インフルエンザは流行性なので、移しても困るからいけない。と私は断らざるを得ない。それこそ、義両親はもとより、飛行機に乗る皆様に、ひいては渡航先でも迷惑をかけてしまう。しかし相手はイヤイヤ期真っ只中だ。ふざけんなよ！なんでよりにもよって今日かかってんだよ！前々からこの日って言ってあっただろうが！と机を叩かれた。そう言われても、自己管理がなってねえんだよ。準備もこっちで、しかも俺一人でやれとか、ふざけんな！わめき散らしながら準備を一人で始めた夫。バン！バコン！と、スーツケースを大音量を立てて開け閉めして準備を開始した。次の日の朝、夫の怒鳴り声で起こされた。時刻はまだ4時。早朝の便に乗るため早起きした夫が、一人で準備したせいで徹夜だわ！とかが鳴り立てている。ごめんなさい。でも私も熱が。インフルエンザのせいで私は声もガラガラになっていた。熱は全く下がった気配がない。咳も出る。布団から起き上がることもできないくらい節々が痛んでいた。昨日病院で薬をもらったのに熱が下がるどころか昨日より辛い。病人演技がうまいな。と夫は唾を吐き捨てた。違う、本当に熱が。とかすれた声で言う私。すると台所で夫は水道の蛇口を目いっぱい開けた。ザーッとすごい音がする。その水をバケツに一気に溜めて、そして、熱があんなら冷ました方がいいよな！バシャー！冷水を布団に寝ている私にぶっかけたのだ。は？とっさのことで返事ができない私。ポタポタと髪を、パジャマを、布団を伝って床に落ちる水滴。床に水たまりができて、滴る水滴がパチャパチャと音を立てて水たまりに落ちる。そのくらいにはあたりが水浸しだった。そしてたっぷり水を吸った布団が、ブジュ、ジュジュ、と不快な音を立てる。ふん、頭の中までそれで冷やしとけ。夫は私の様を鼻で笑うと、そのままスーツケースを手に取った。帰るまでにきれいにしとけよ。家の中も、お前の頭の中もな。よーく冷やして反省しておけ。夫は笑って扉を開けっぱなしにして出て行った。騒ぎで娘が起きてきた。お母さん？その水浸しの床や布団、そして私を見てすっとんきょうな声を出して走ってくる。何これ？とりあえずタオルを持ってきて私と床を拭いてくれる。熱と寒さ、そして水をかけられたショックで私の身はブルブルと震え、カチカチと歯が鳴った。その音を鳴らす歯の中で私は言葉を途切れ途切れに発した。予定、前々から言ってあっただろうって。これで、熱も頭の中も冷ませって。帰るまでに家の中も頭の中もきれいにしておけって。ひどい。娘がタオルで私をくるんでくれる。でも、そうしてくれる娘は涙ぐんでいて、その手も震えていた。私はそのタオルにくるまりながら思った。この旅行は、夫は定年前の有給消化を兼ねていた。夫が定年したら、そのうちやろうと思っていたことを、もう今すぐやってしまおう。ちょっと期間が早まった。それだけのこと。帰るまでにきれいにしてろ、か。わかったわ。私はつぶやいた。3週間後、夫が帰ってきた。そして、帰国し、家に帰ってくるであろう時間ぴったりに電話があった。予想がついていたので、その電話に出る。 ちょっと、お前、今どこにいるんだ？電話口で受話器を遠ざけたいほどの大音量がした。私はそれに静かに答える。相手の声と対照的なトーンで。アキと一緒に私の実家よ。なんでそんなに落ち着いてるんだ？そのトーンにも食ってかかられた。そして、なんでこんなことにと、上ずり、泡を吹いた声がする。言葉を失うとはまさにこのことなんだろう。こんなことに、の後が全く続かなかった。綺麗にしろって言われたから。夫が出せない言葉の代わりに私が声を出して答えてあげた。ここまで綺麗にしろなんて言ってないって言いたいところかしら。でも究極の綺麗でしょ？さっぱりと、さら地にしてあげたわよ。夫の目の前には、元私たちの家屋があった場所は、平地が広がっているはずだ。お前、言えば！夫は息を飲んで言葉をなくしたり、早口でまくし立ててきたり忙しい。しかしまあ、一生かかったって滅多に見ない早業と光景だから、そうなるのも当たり前ではあるのだが。私は説明をしてあげた。それで夫の頭が冷えるとも納得するとも思ってはいなかったが。もともとそれ、私の親の土地だし、私の名義で買ってるわよね。あなたがそこの家を建てるときに言ったんじゃない。お前の親の土地だから、家の名義はお前でって。だから、私の独断で潰した。そこ駐車場になるから。そんな理屈が。通るか、と相手が言いそうになる前に。まあ、私とアキが実家にいるから、そこで話しましょう。と一言告げて電話を切ってやった。夫がスーツケースをガラガラ引いてやってきた。とりあえず荷物を置くところもないから当然そのまま持ってくるしかないといったところだろうか。状況が状況なので義両親も一緒にやってきた。おかげでリビングが私、娘、そして私の父母に義両親と夫、プラス3つのスーツケースでパンパンになった。うちに着くなり、夫は私の両親に挨拶することもなく、たく、イタリアから帰ってきて、こっちとらクタクタなんだぞ。それがさらにこのざまか。当てつけのつもりか？それにしたってやりすぎだろうが。と、けんけんごうごうの勢いでまくし立ててきた。そして、ほら、これでもくれ！と、土産のつもりだろうが、チーズを投げてきた。ご覧になりましたよね。私はこの一部始終を丸ごと見ていた義実家の両親に問いかける。夫自身がこの行動がおかしいと気がついていないのだ。あまりに日常的になりすぎて。全部見させてもらった。と義両親は答えるしかなかった。しかし自覚のない夫がまた非難の言葉を投げてきた。は？何がだよ？何が見せてもらっただと？本当に立ちが悪い。私が教えてやる。あんたが今やったこと、立派に精神的苦痛を与える行為だからね。は？どれが？どこの行為が？そもそもそんなもの家族だろうが。家族でもやっていいことと悪いことがあるよ。これでも食らえって、誰に対してでもやっちゃダメだよね。っていうか、家族じゃなくても、今まで他人にもやってきたじゃん。と娘。そして義父母に。おじいちゃん、おばあちゃん、助けて！と一言を言うとスマホの音源を再生した。義父母がその音声を聞く。聞き終わる頃には、孫を助けなければ、という表情に変わっていた。その音源は夫の、なんで歯磨き粉がねえんだ！という声で始まった。そして何かが飛ぶ音。痛い！私の悲鳴。ティッシュボックスくらいでビービー言ってんじゃねえよ！ほら、朝は忙しいんだ！歯磨き粉切らしてるなんてどういうことだ！これで終わっていた。 娘は別の音源をタップする。すると、ワイシャツが置いてねえだろうがと、夫の怒号とともに物音。みかんくらいであざなんかできねえだろうが朝タンスまでワイシャツを取りに行けってかこの忙しい時にそして、娘は音声ファイルから画像ファイルへとスマホの画面を変えて一枚の写真を出した。この写真が旅行の日の朝だよ。そこにはびしょびしょになった私と水浸しの床と、そして転がったバケツが。音源を聞き、写真を見た頃には義両親はもう言葉を失っていた。美佐子さんインフルエンザだったって、高熱だったって、そんな時にこの子は、と義母が声を震わせる。私はこの写真に目を落としながら状況を義父母に説明した。これは、熱が下がらなかった朝、竹広さんに熱を冷ましてやるって、バケツ一杯の冷水をぶっかけられました。そんな。もう義父母は悲鳴しか出ない。そんな中、別の意味での驚きの声が上がった。夫だった。まさか証拠を取られていると思わなかったらしい。そっちの意味で驚いていた。娘が。怖かったの。怖さのあまり、こんなことがあると、録音するようになった。と、スマホを握りしめ、声を震わせた。ごめんなさいね。こんなことになっていたなんて。私たち、気づいて、やれなくて。義母がおろおろと娘を抱きしめようとした。私は説明を続けた。そんなわけで、娘が、あまりの夫の日常行動のエスカレートに、夫を避けるようになって、その避けること自体を夫が怒るようになって、私は、夫の定年を機に離婚を考えていました。夫が鳩が豆鉄砲を食らったような顔をした。離婚？思いつきもしていなかったようだ。夫は慌てふためいて、さっきまでの言葉がない状態は、そしてあの異性はどこへ行ったんだという感じですがりついてきた。そんな素振りは全然、それに、そんなに俺の言ったり、やったりしたことがお前たちにとってきつかったなら、一言言ってくれれば、と言い始める。何が言ってくれればだ。私は、散々言ってきたよ。怒る程度のことではないし、雰囲気を悪くするとか、毎回。でも、それでもやめてくれなかったじゃない。と、今までの我慢をここで静かに吐き出すことになった。しかし、これに夫が食い下がる。もっときつく言ってくれれば。私はため息が出た。人は万事そうなんだと思う。被害者の方が溜めて切れたとき、切れられた加害者側は危害を加えている自覚なんてないことの方が多いのだと思った。今回もその典型である。私はこれを機に、私の両親と義両親に、今まで他人にしてきたことも含め話をすることにした。車の運転中に対向車両や駐車場で切れること、スーパーのレジで怒鳴ること。夫は、そんなこと俺言ったか？言ってないだろ？とか言ったが、その度娘が、その場にいた。私聞いてた。と言った。どうも、怒鳴れば本当にすっきりしてしまうせいか、本人は覚えていないか、覚えていても、一言言っただけという自覚のようだった。その様々なやりとりを耳にしながら私は思った。スーパーで怒鳴る人をよく見かけたりするが、あれも言った後には、その人自身は言ったことを忘れてしまうのだろうなぁと。それにしたって、俺が覚えていないような些細なことばかりを、溜め込んだとはいえ、些細なことに変わりはないだろう。さら地にするとか、そこまでしなくても。と、夫がまた話を戻して言い出した。 確かに家が更地になるのはビジュアル面で恐ろしくインパクトが強く、目が飛び出そうになったのはわかる。しかし義母が、それだけ爆発させるくらい、あんたが溜め込ませたんだとは思わないのね。何が些細よ。と、怒りと悲しみを半々に、しかしパンパンに詰め込み絞り出すような声で言ったことで、夫の勢いはしぼんだ。こちらからすれば、着々と2ヶ月後の定年に向けて準備をしていて、それが早まっただけなので、これだけ早くやれたのよね。と私が言う。母が、もう相談は受けていて、別居した時には、私どもの家に転がり込んでくるからよろしくと言われていました。私たちもいろんな話を聞いて、離婚やむなしと思っていましたし、孫を早く避難させたい気持ちもありました。と、前々から私たちにその意思があったことを証明した。義母が、あんたは、些細だと思ってるかもしれないけれど、これはもう大罪よ。あきちゃんがどんな気持ちでスマホで録音や写真を撮ったのか。美佐子さんがどんな気持ちで更地にしたのか。もうその心、覚悟を想像するに、私は胸が張り裂けそうよ。あなたにはその想像力すらないの？人の立場に立って物が考えられないの？許してもらえると思わなくても謝りなさい。ごめんなさい、許してくださいではなく、ごめんなさい、もうしませんという意味で謝りなさい。と叫んで、夫の背中を叩いた。そして、夫より先に、畳に手をついてくれた。合わせて義父が手をついた。本当に申し訳ありません。息子が大変失礼を重ねてきて。義父に頭を押さえつけられ、夫は頭を下げた。が、離婚はしない。勝手に決めるな。とか、なおも言ってきた。本当にあんたって子は！義母が夫の背中をビシバシと涙ながらに叩いた。あんな音源聞いても、去らない気持ちでいられるなんて、ほんとあんたは鬼の心でも持ってるんだよ。それを聞いて、ああ、結婚した時には夫の心にそんな鬼のようなものはいなかったが、年とともに、もしかしたら鬼が済んだのかもしれないと思った。そう考えると、あの家も更地にしたことで鬼は去るのかもしれないなぁとも思った。駐車場に塩でも撒こうと心に決めた。結局、私たちは協議離婚になったが、娘が取っていた音源が証拠になって、日常的に精神的苦痛を与えられていたというのが認められ、私は慰謝料をもらうことができた。娘と私はしばらく母と父のもとにいたが、ほどなくしてアパートを借りた。相変わらず私は生保で働いていた。何がきっかけで朝みかんが飛んできたり、ティッシュが飛んできたりするかわからないことからも解放されて、安堵感に包まれた朝を迎えることができるようになった。今思えば、あれは相当なストレスだったのだなぁと思う。家の跡地は駐車場になって固定の収入が入るため、それで娘の花嫁資金をちょっとずつ貯めた。義母と義父は本当にお怒りで、夫を家に入れることもなかった。そうすることで孫を守りたかったらしい。義母と義父が、孫のそばに寄りつくな。この町から出て行け。ときつく言ったため、遠方に引っ越して行ってくれた。定年を迎え、慰謝料も取られで、この先金銭的にはお先真っ暗だろうが、知ったことではなかった。数年後、娘が結婚した。結婚式には義母と義父も出席した。みんなに大事に守られて式を挙げることができました。と、双方の祖父母に見守られてとても嬉しそうな娘。義母、義父、私の父、母、そして私に娘。6人ぎゅうぎゅうで写った記念写真を私は額に入れて飾った。 中古住宅の貧乏人と食事は嫌。帰ってちょうだい。意地悪い笑みを浮かべて、ボスママは言い放った。自分から誘っておいて、やっぱりこういうことだったのか。ほら、お店にもご迷惑よ。貧乏人はさっさと出て行って。娘のためにも仲良くしようと思っていたけど、こんな人たちと無理して付き合うことが娘のためになるだろうか。答えはノーだ。私が決意したその時、大将が口を開いた。真帆さん、お待ちしてました。え？ボスママが驚いたように振り返る。さあ、帰ることになるのはどっちかしら。私の名前は真帆、40歳。この度、やっと念願の戸建てを購入してこの町に引っ越してきた。子供が通う学校や町の環境を考えたり、夫の家へのこだわりもあったりで、家の購入まで思ったより時間がかかってしまった。本当は娘が小学校に入学する前に引っ越したかったけれど、娘は今2年生。案の定、転校の話をした時はブーイングを受けた。仲のいい友達もいたのだから当然だ。それでも、なんとか新しい家と生活を楽しみにしてくれるようになった。隣町への引っ越しで、学校が変わっても友達と会えることも救いだった。今までの友達も大事にしながら、娘に新しい友達ができるといいな。私にも気の合うママ友ができたらなお嬉しい。そんな風に始まった新生活だから、最初の授業参観はいい機会だと思っていた。少し早めに学校に行くと、やはりすでに顔見知り同士も多いようで、何人かずつでまとまって笑顔で会話をしている。子供たちは自分の親を探したり、見つけたら手を振ったり、そわそわしている様子が可愛い。娘も私を見つけると安心したように手を振ってくれた。席が近くの子と仲が良さそうにおしゃべりしているのを見て少しほっとする。授業参観を無事に終えて校門の外に出ると、私は同じ方向へ歩いていく4人のグループに思い切って声をかけた。こんにちは。同じクラスの高野と言います。一緒に帰っていいですか？4人は少し驚いたように振り返ったが笑顔で。こんにちは。どうぞ。と返してくれた。皆さん1年生の時も同じクラスだったんですか？いいえ、私たちは同じタワマンのママ友なの。ああ、そうなんですね。答えてくれた真ん中の人が私の頭のてっぺんからつま先までじろじろ見てくる。あなた、1年生の時は何組？見たことない顔ね。2年生から引っ越してきたんです。まだこの学校のこともよくわからないので、いろいろ教えてください。あら、そういうこと？私わかんないよ。あなたラッキーね。最初に私に声かけるなんて。ねえ。その通り。カンナさんと同じクラスになれただけでもラッキーなのに。ほんと。私は PTA や先生にも顔が利くの。何でも聞いて。ありがとうございます。他のママがうんうんとうなずく様子からも、このカンナさんは明らかにボスママのようだ。それから私たちは当たり障りのない会話をしながら歩き、タワーマンションの前まで来た。ここが私たちの住むタワマン。うちは43階なのよ。43階？すごい。私なんかとても住めないです。思わず声を上げた私に、カンナさんはとても満足そうにうなずいた。マホさんって素直で気に入ったわ。私たちこれからランチに行くんだけど一緒にどう？学校のこといろいろ教えてあげるわ。あ、はい。ぜひお願いします。早速こんな風に言われるなんてラッキーだ。娘のためにも勇気を出して話しかけてよかった。なんてこの時の私はのんきに思っていた。ボスママのカンナさんの高飛車な態度がちょっと気になるけど、親切だし悪い人ではないだろう。私たちはカンナさんの案内する店に入った。そういえば、マホさんはどちらのマンション？ うちは戸建てなんです。
あら、そうなの。
いいですね、戸建て。庭もあるんですか？そう言ったのは、さとこさんと名乗った人だ。私としては、一番自分に近い雰囲気を感じて、もっと話してみたいのだが、カンナさんが仕切っていて、なかなか話せずにいた。庭もありますよ。まだ全然手入れができてなくて、これから。話しかけてくれたのが嬉しくて、ニコニコ答えていた私は、カンナさんの表情が変わったことに気づいていなかった。その後も、カンナさんを中心に、学校や近くのお店の話なんかをして、私たちは食事を終えた。
まほさん、連絡先を交換しない？私たちの LINE グループがあるから入れてあげる。
あ、はい。よろしくお願いします。
私がいろいろ教えてあげるから任せて。娘にも転校生のあなたの娘さんを気にかけるよう言っておくわ。
ありがとうございます。私は素直にお礼を言った。早速、ママ友ができたことは良かったし、さとこさんとは思った通り気があって、二人で LINE をしたり、買い物に行ったりするようになった。そんな風に1ヶ月が経つ頃、グループ LINE で誘いを受けた私たちは、またランチに行くことになった。今日はカンナさん行きつけの手打ちパスタが評判のイタリアンらしい。パスタを楽しみにお店に入った私を待っていたのは、今日も綺麗に髪を巻いているカンナさんを真ん中にママ友が2人。あれ、さとこさんはまだ来てないのかな？同じタワマンだからみんなで一緒に来るのかと思ったけど。こんにちは。さとこさんはまだですか？
さとこさん？誰それ？
カンナさんの言葉に私は驚いた。さとこさんですよ。同じタワマンですよね。一緒に来なかったんですか？
ああ、低層階の。あの人なら来ないわ。
でもグループ LINE で。私がスマホを操作してトーク画面を開くと、さとこさんがグループから退会している。
どうしたの？
ニヤニヤとカンナさんが聞く。さとこさん、昨日までグループにいましたよね。なんで退会になってるんだろう。私、電話してきます。
必要ないわ。さとこさんはルールを破ったの。私に内緒で、勝手にあなたと2人で出かけてるわよね。
ルール？何を言っているのかさっぱりわからない。
私見たのよ。2人でお茶してたのも、買い物してたのも。カンナさんに報告しました。
カンナさんの横のママ友が言った。確かにさとこさんとお茶を飲んだり、スーパーの特売に一緒に行ったりしますけど、それの何が問題なんですか？
ちょっと、何言ってるのよあなた。カンナさんに早く謝りなさいよ。
そうよ。あなたはまだこうやって許してもらえるんだから。
さあ、早く。
口々に言われても本当に意味がわからない。謝るって何を？何か誤解してませんか？謝るようなことはしてませんけど。恐る恐るそう言うと、カンナさんが目を見開いた。
勝手なことするんじゃないわよ。
突然鬼の形相で睨まれ、私は言葉が出ない。店員さんと他のお客さんもちらちらとこちらを見た。
私のグループで仲良くしてるのに、私なしで黙って出かけるなんてルール違反でしょ？
は？
さとこさんから私たちの悪口を聞かされたのね。全部白状なさい。あの人は同じタワマンって言っても3階なの。3階よ？本来なら高層階の私たちとは付き合えないのを仲間に入れてやったのに。やっぱり嫉妬してたのね。子供が同じ学年だから仲良くしてくださいって言うから、優しいカンナさんが入れてあげたのに。そのカンナさんの優しさを無限にするなんて信じられないわ。タワマンじゃないあなたよりは自分が上だと思ったんでしょうね。
ママたちが顔を見合わせ、うんうんとうなずく。どうしよう。私はうなずくところが一個もない。さとこさんは誰の悪口も言ってませんよ。それに、高層階だの、低層階だのってお話は何ですか？意味がわかりません。
は？わからないの？高層階に住んでる方が偉いに決まってるじゃない。 あなただってそう言ったわよね。え ?43 階なんてすごい。私なんかとても住めませんって。それで話がわかると思って、タワマンじゃないのに特別に私のグループに入れてあげたのよ。あの時の嬉しそうな顔はそういうことだったの？うわぁ、どうしよう。勘違いされてる。とにかく、さとこさんも呼びましょうよ。高層階だから偉いとか、そんなのおかしいし。何ですって？カンナさんは眉をつり上げた。あれ、間違えた？もう帰りたい。そう思ったけど、美味しそうなパスタが運ばれてきてしまった。そして何より、子供たちが同じクラスなのは変わりないんだから、ここは穏便に済ませたい。カンナさん。おずおずと声をかけると、意外にも笑顔を向けられた。そうね。わかったわ、真帆さん。え？私もさとこさんの話も聞かずに悪かったわ。どうしてもね、タワマンって独特のルールがあるの。夫の立場もあるし、高層階はそれなりに大変なのよ。じゃあ、次はさとこさんも呼んで仲直りの会を開きましょう。それでどうかしら。正直、もうこんな面倒な人たちと関わりたくないが、さとこさんのためにも子供のためにも、ここは断らない方がいいだろう。みんなもいいわよね。少し前にリニューアルオープンしたお寿司屋さんがあるでしょ？あそこでどう？素敵。さすがカンナさん、心が広いわ。ニコニコと言うより、ニヤニヤしながら話すママ友たちに、なんだか嫌な予感がする。さとこさんも一緒にってあなたが言ったのよ。せっかく仲直りの場を設けるのに、まさか断らないわよね。笑顔で凄むカンナさんに、私はうなずくしかない。決まりね。楽しみだわ。店自慢の手打ちパスタはさぞ美味しいだろうに、何の味もしなかった。どっと疲れて家に帰り夫に話すと、へドラマみたいだな。なんてのんきに笑っている。まあ、私も今日までのんきにしていたんだけど。笑い事じゃないのよ。とんでもない人たちに巻き込まれちゃった。仲直りの会なんて本当かね？そう、それも怪しいのよ。もう関わりたくない。でも、学校のママ友である以上敵に回すのも良くないだろ？そう、そこなのよ。子供たちが同じクラスだから。娘に矛先が行くなんてことは避けたいよな。もちろんよ。子供たちは絶対に巻き込みたくない。無難に仲良く食ってくれば。そのさとこさんも一緒なら、真帆も心強いじゃないか。そうね。今日は全然パスタを味わえなかったから、今度はリベンジよ。私の大好きなお寿司みたいだし。どこの寿司屋？なんていうお店だっけ？私は、カンナさんから来た LINE を見て、お店の URL を開いた。次の週、食事会の日だ。私がお店に入ると、もう奥の個室にみんな揃っていた。もちろんカンナさんが真ん中だ。さとこさんは心なしか表情が硬い。すみません、お待たせしました。私は明るく言いながら、空いている席がないことに気づいた。どこに座れば？カンナさんがクスクスと笑い出した。あら、マホさん、今日は何？何って、これから食事会ですよね。私たちはね。ここがどんなお店か知ってる？都内の超有名店から独立した大将が握る高級寿司店よ。知ってます。あらあら、見え張っちゃって。回転寿司しか行ったことないんでしょ。まあ、普段はそうですけど。みんな聞いた？マコさん、やっぱり私たちと付き合えるような人じゃなかったのよ。わかったら帰って。ここは高級寿司店で、私たちはみんなタワマンに住んでるの。中古の一軒家に住む貧乏人と食事するのは嫌だわ。帰って。私はあまりの言いように絶句する。今日は、さとこさんも呼んで、みんなで楽しく食事をしようって話じゃなかったですか？そうよ。タワマンママ友の会。ほら、彼女もそこにいるじゃない。 ねえ、さとこさん。まこさんは呼んでないわよね。かんなさんは意地の悪い笑みを浮かべ、ママ友たちはクスクス笑っている。さとこさんだけがうつむいていた。カウンターの奥から大将とおかみさんが心配そうな顔で見ている。ほら、あなたみたいな貧乏人がいたらお店にも迷惑よ。さっさと出て行って。自分から誘っておいて、そういうことだったのか。先日の私の言動がやはり気に入らなかったのだ。ターゲットをさとこさんから私に変えただけのこと。子供たちを揉め事やいじめから守る立場の母親がこんなくだらないことするなんて。娘のためにも仲良くしようと思っていたけど、こんな人たちと無理して付き合うことが娘のためになるだろうか。答えはノーだ。私が決意したその時、大将が口を開いた。いやー、マホさん、お待ちしてました。どうしました？座らないんですか？え？カンナさんが大将の方を見た。こんにちは、大将。この方たちと同じ予約のつもりで来たんですけど、私の席はないらしいの。はあ、おかしいですね。帰れって聞こえましたけど、お友達じゃないんですか？喧嘩でも？友達じゃなかったみたいです。ちょっと、私たちのせいみたいに言わないでよ。そうよ、誤解されるじゃない。ママ友たちは慌てた様子で弁解する。誤解じゃないよね。何よ、マホさん大将と知り合いなの？カンナさんが戸惑った様子で聞く。ええ、夫が仕事でお世話になって。お世話になったのはこっちですよ。こんなに立派な店にしてもらって、本当に評判いいんですよ。それはよかった。夫も喜びます。私は自然と笑顔になった。ちょっと、何なの？そこのあなた、さっきマコさんに貧乏人って言ってませんでした？大将が突然、カンナさんに声をかけた。え？だって本当のことよ。この人の家は中古の一軒家よ。服だっていつもノーブランドで、一緒に食事するのも恥ずかしいわ。このお店の品位が落ちて大将もご迷惑でしょ？あはははは。大将とおかみさんが笑い出し、カンナさんはぎょっとする。恥ずかしいのはあなたの方だ。建築家、高野聖也の奥様に向かって、よくもまあそんな見当外れなことが言えたもんだよ。高野聖也？何よ、それ誰よ？カンナさん知らないの？美術館とかも手掛けている有名な建築家よ。うち夫がファンで。さっきまでカンナさんに合わせて笑っていたママ友の一人が、途端に私に羨望の眼差しを向けてきた。現金だこと。カンナさん言ってましたよね。このお店リニューアルしたって。そのリニューアルを手掛けたのが私の夫なんですよ。そんなの嘘でしょ？建築家がなんで中古のボロい一軒家なんかに住むのよ。建築家だからこそかな？夫がずっと広い平屋を探してたんです。一部は事務所にするし、住居スペースも自分で全部手掛けるって言うから時間がかかっちゃって。そもそも別にボロくないです。仕事も忙しいのでまだ全部リフォームが終わってないですけど。そんなのおかしいわ。お金持ちならタワマンに住めばいいでしょ？高層階にだって住めるはずよね。いや、それはカンナさんの価値観であって、偏りまくった思考と話の通じなさに私は苦笑するしかない。私は高層マンションになんか絶対住みたくないです。なんですって？どうしてよ？ステータスじゃない。私、高いところダメなので。は？ 43 階でしたっけ？よく怖くないですね。私にはとても住めません。そう、私は高所恐怖症で、タワマンなんて最初から論外だ。あれってそういう意味だったの？呆然とつぶやいたカンナさんは、大将や他のお客さんの視線が集まっていることに気づいたようだ。突然声を変えた。マホさんたらやーねー。ほら、そんなとこ突っ立ってないで、こちらに座って。ちょっとさとこさん、帰りなさいよ。あんた3階でしょ？ まこさんの夫が有名建築家でお金持ちって言うんなら、外れるのはあんたよ。ちょっと、カンナさんいい加減に。
帰ります。
さとこさんが私の声を遮ったので、私は驚いた。カンナさんもポカンとしている。
私、帰ります。もうあなたたちと付き合いたくないから。今日だってグループに戻りたいなら、まこさんとは喋るなって。反論できなかった自分が情けないです。さとこさん。
何よ生意気に。私たちに立てついて、あのタワマンでやっていけると思ってるの？
その高層階が偉いっていう勝手なルール、もうやめてください。うち以外の低層階の人にも嫌がらせしてますよね。私管理会社に連絡します。
途端にカンナさんの顔が青くなる。待ちなさい。何言い出すのよ。ちょっといいですか。そのタワマンとは、もしかしてプレジデンスさくらのことですか？そこに突然、カウンターにいた初老の紳士が話しかけてきた。
そうです。
戸惑いながらも、さとこさんがうなずく。ほう。では、そのルールとは何ですか？男性は身なりもよく、貫禄のある雰囲気だ。カンナさんは器用に声を変えた。高層階の住人が屋上を掃除して、低層階の住人がエントランスを掃除するというような協力し合う素晴らしいルールですわ。うわー、すごいな。よくも息を吐くように嘘がつけるものだ。
そんなんじゃないです。
さとこさんは黙ってて。男性は怪げそうな顔だ。共有部分の掃除を住人がすることなどないはずだが、すべて業者が定期的に入っている。あなたは？私はプレジデンスさくらのオーナーだ。オーナー？タワマンママたちが一斉に声を上げた。うちのマンションにおかしなルールなどないはずだが、管理会社からも最近クレームが増えていると聞いている。カンナさんは顔面蒼白で口をパクパクさせている。君たちは詳しい話を知っていそうだね。いい機会だから聞かせてもらおう。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
さとこさんが答えた。ちょっと待ってよ。何も話すことなんかないわよ。ねえみんな、ちょっと、何黙ってるのよ。青い顔でまくし立てるカンナさんに私は言った。往生際が悪いですよ。そちらの方、私が入ってきた時からいらっしゃいました。あなたが私を見下し、追い出そうとしたのも全部聞いてるんじゃないですか？カンナさん、我が子に自分の行いを見せられますか？何が言いたいのよ？あなたの子供が住む家やマンションの回数で友達を区別したらどうですか？逆に、そんな理由で友達からのけ者にされたら、そういうもんなのよって笑うんですか？カンナさんはじめ、高層階ママたちは一瞬絶句した。うるさいわね。何よ偉そうに。なんで私が責められてるのよ。私がみんなをまとめてあげてたんじゃない。ねえ。私たちは仕方なくカンナさんに従っただけよ。合わせないと自分が外されるんだもの。そうよ。子供は同級生だし、仕方なかったのよ。あんたたち裏切るつもり？私のおかげで学校でもタワマンでも中心にいられたくせに。キャンキャンと揉め始めた彼女たちはいつの間にかバッグを手に取り、逃げ帰っていった。弱い犬ほどよく吠える。と言ったら犬に失礼だろうか。騒がしくしてしまい申し訳ありません。私は大将や居合わせたお客さんに頭を下げたが、大抵の人が見ていて事情を飲み込んだらしく。いやー、すっきりしたよ大将。あんたもよく言った。今時いるんだな。あんな絵に描いたようなマウントママが。あなた、高野さんの奥様なのね。このお店の内装すごく素敵って伝えて。などと温かい言葉をかけてくれた。大将も、気にしないでください。あんなマナーの悪いお客さん、失ってもちっとも痛くないです。と笑顔で言い切った。 今日のお店を確認したとき、夫が手掛けた寿司店だと分かって二人で驚いた。妻が友達と食べに行くからよろしくって言っておくよ。夫がしたことはそれだけだが、友達同士にしては様子がおかしいと察した大将が声をかけてくれたのだった。その後、里子さんや他のママ友に聞いたところによると、あのカンナさんグループはタワマンでも学校でも悪い意味で有名で、極力関わらない方がいいというのが真っ当な人たちの共通認識なんだそう。それを知る前に声をかけてしまった私は運が悪かったらしい。あの日居合わせたオーナーによって、その後タワマンでは聞き取り調査が始まった。今までカンナさんグループを恐れていた人たちも、里子さんの話を聞いて一緒に勇気を出して話しているそう。なんでも、高層階ママたちは、低層階の人には共用施設を使わせないとか、エレベーターに同乗させないといったことまでしていて、オーナーと管理会社から厳重注意を受け、次は退去ときつく言われた。そしてそんな妻の振る舞いは、寝耳に水だった夫たちから激怒され、離婚を迫られているんだとか。罪のなすりつけ合いでグループは崩壊。先日見かけたカンナさんも随分やつれていたけど自業自得だ。私はというと、里子さんとも気兼ねなく付き合えるようになったし、娘の習い事を通して新しい知り合いも増えてきた。娘も新しい学校に慣れてきて友達もできたようだ。子供たちを見ていると住む家とか着ている服とかそんなこと関係なく遊んで、時には喧嘩して、また仲良く笑ってる。そんなまっさらな子供たちに大人が変な先入観や偏見を植え付けるなんてあってはならない。私も親として気が引き締まる思いだ。私も今回のことでタワマンの住人には二度と関わりたくないって一瞬思ったけど、そういうことじゃないよね。出会う人たちと人対人でちゃんと向き合っていこう。あ、どんなに素敵な友達でも高層階のお家には遊びに行けないけどね。
Why do you make such a terrible looking cake when you can't make it properly? That's why I threw it away. Hurry up and buy a new one. Mom, I didn't make a cake this year. Oh, Mei Chan's birthday is a big fuss with Abby Kuhn. My mother-in-law who lives with me. It's all your fault. I'm Hayakawa Mayu. I just got married to my 30-year-old husband, Sosuke. I met Sosuke through a friend's introduction, and after hanging out together in groups for barbecues and camping, we got along well and decided to get married. Sosuke's family consists of his parents and older sister. This older sister had already married and left home. I thought that since her husband was the oldest, she would have to live with him after marriage, but her parents were fine and she wanted to leave home herself. It would be nice if we didn't have to live together, so we started our married life just the two of us. However, our married life ended after 1 year. In the first year, my father-in-law, who was at home, collapsed from a cerebral infarction. It was fortunate that he was not killed. However, due to hypertension, my father-in-law was left with paralysis in his right hemisphere, and he has difficulty walking without support, so he is now in a wheelchair. He seems to recover with rehabilitation, but it is unclear how much he will return to normal. Moreover, my father-in-law was originally right-handed, so his daily life is quite difficult. I can't take care of your father alone. Please, come back. My mother-in-law said this, and my husband and I decided to live together at my parents' house. My husband didn't want to, but in this situation, there is no other way. I didn't object. But to make matters worse, my husband was transferred at that time. He decided to go to the countryside alone for about 1.5 years with infertility. As a result, I was left behind at my parents' house. Mainly to care for my father-in-law. It was my first time caring for him. Moreover, I was worried about leaving my mother-in-law alone at home during the day, so I quit my job. My mother-in-law is fine, and I thought that caring for her would be my main role for the time being, but that was just my ideal. The reality is this. Mayu, is it lunchtime yet? Oh, yes, I'll make it now. I don't feel like eating noodles, so please make it a proper meal. Mayu, I've finished cleaning the bath. I want to watch a show in the evening, so I want to go in early today. Can you hurry up? Oh, yes, I'm back. As soon as we started living together, my mother-in-law retired from housework and left everything to me. If there's one person who can do it, she leaves it all to me. My husband wanted to leave home because he knew my mother-in-law's personality. Before we got married, even when my husband was at his parents' house, she would ask me to do the shopping for him, and whenever we went somewhere, she would always ask for a car, which was a lot of trouble. While my mother-in-law used me a lot, my father-in-law always said thank you when he saw me. Mayu, I'm sorry that we ended up living together for me. I'm really sorry that I could have lived a leisurely life with Soz. That's such a shady story. Before I knew it, Gifu felt bad about having become a monster caregiver, and she gradually became less energetic, was passive about rehabilitation, and had less conversations at home. As for my mother-in-law, she started to be even more considerate towards me. Mayu-san, I have a local couples meeting tomorrow, and I'm going to invite everyone to this house. Tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow. Then should I leave the table? Shall we go out somewhere? But it's not good to dig up your father, is it? It's fine if you go. Actually, it's better to stay, and since it will probably start around noon, can you prepare a light lunch and snacks? Lunch? For 5 people. Well, everyone is in the neighborhood, so you don't have to prepare a lot, so it's fine if you can prepare something quickly. I didn't ask for anything in return, but I agreed. On the day, there were 10 people who gathered, including my mother-in-law. Everyone came because they wanted to see the eldest son's wife. There's no other way. So Mayu-san, you understand. Hurry up and prepare enough for 10 people. Wow. It was impossible to prepare enough for 10 people at once, so I prepared some somen and rice balls and the leftover stew from last night, told my father-in-law that I was going out, and went to buy some snacks. When I got back, I saw that Mayu was late. Everyone said that wasn't enough. And don't serve somen and yesterday's leftovers. I'm embarrassed. Well, even if you say that, Mom suddenly said it yesterday, so I couldn't prepare anything. Besides, the number of people will increase today, and Mom said it's okay if it's not something special. Even this is too much. It will make people think that we are poor. These are the snacks I just bought. Well, this will do. Now, please give me tea. Oh, some people like coffee, not just tea, so please check before pouring it. Hurry up. My mother-in-law snatched the snacks I bought and hurried back to the Fujinkai members. What is this? After the Fujinkai, my mother-in-law didn't say a single word of thanks for all the things I prepared. After a while, we had a new roommate. I'm back. Mom and Dad, I'll be taking care of you for a while, so please take care of me. It's my husband's sister and daughter, who I thought got married and left home. Miko-san has come back with her daughter, Mei-chan. Miko-san, what's wrong? I'm suddenly going to be taking care of you for a while. Oh, Mayu-san, that's perfect. Listen, your husband. He said he's found a woman he likes more than me. He said I'm strong-willed and he can't relax when we're together. What's up with him? That's why he got divorced and came back. We'll be living here for a while. I didn't hear anything. Oh, I called your mother the other day. She said it's fine. She said Mayu-san is here, so I can ask her to take care of Mei. Please take care of me. Oh. Mei and I will be using the room I used to use, so I'll bring my luggage in for now. Yoshi, she said, and took the carrier bag to the room. I asked my mother-in-law, who was watching TV at the moment. Mom, Miko-san is here now. Oh, by the way, you said she was coming. From now on, Yako-san will also be living in this house, right? That's right. So from now on, we'll have to make meals for 5 people. And Yako-san will be working during the day, right? Mayu-san will also be taking Mei to and from nursery school. Me? That's right. Because Miko-san is now single, from now on, she'll have to work hard and earn money for her daughter's tuition and living expenses. So I have to support her. Mayu-san is always at home and doesn't have a child yet, so she's probably bored anyway. Please take care of Mei-san as a practice at raising children. So in addition to caring for her and doing the housework at my parents' house, I also take care of Na. Mei-chan's daughter, Mei-chan, is 4 years old and goes to nursery school. Miyako-san takes her out in the morning, but when she gets home, she has to go and pick her up because she doesn't finish work. After that, I come home immediately and play with Mei-chan, and prepare dinner while occasionally checking on her father. Even so, it doesn't always go smoothly. Mayu-san, what's for dinner today? I'm thinking of making hamburger steak, Mei-chan's favorite. Hamburger steak? I don't really like it. I prefer something lighter. Shall I make hamburger steak with grated daikon radish for Mom? Then do that. Oh, make my husband's hamburger steak bite-sized so it's easy to eat. It would be terrible if he choked on it. Oh, yes. Make Karamiyako a hamburger steak with grated daikon radish too. She likes light dishes too. Yes. Oh, and by the way, make it fish tomorrow. She'll get upset if she eats meat in succession. Yes. Mom leaves all the dinner cooking to me, and her requests are very detailed. Furthermore, Mei-chan often peeks in while I'm cooking. Ma-chan, are we having hamburger steak today? Yes. Yay. It's what I like. Can Mei have a second helping? I have to eat my rice too. If you want to eat it all, you can have a second helping. Okay. After such exchanges, dinner is finally finished. After that, I eat while supporting my father's dinner, but I can't eat slowly here either. Mayu-san, isn't this potato salad a little hard? The miso soup is a little bland. I wish you would eat a little quieter. Oh, I spilled it. Oh, it's okay. Look, I've already wiped it up. Mayu-san, hurry up and make Mei stop crying. You're so sloppy that you can't eat your meal slowly. Mei-chan, look. It's fine now because it's clean. I have to take care of Mei and my mother-in-law's children at the same time. To be honest, I haven't had time to pay attention since we started living together. And for some reason, I've become the one who takes care of Mei-chan on holidays too. Mayu, what are you talking about, that you will look after Mei today? Today, actually, I'm going to a matchmaking agency that my mother applied for without my permission, and my mother has asked Mayu to look after Mei, so I should go. Yes, I was wondering about that, but my mother told me to find a new father quickly for Mayu's sake. I think that might be true. So please take care of Na today. Miko-san has started going to matchmaking agencies, matchmaking parties, and meetings with acquaintances on her days off work. I'm the one who takes care of Na. Of course, my mother-in-law doesn't help me at all. On the contrary, Mayu-san, we'll have a private party tomorrow Sunday too. A snack. That's true, but after you prepare the food, can you take Mei to the park? We can't enjoy a quiet conversation with her, right? Then how about holding it with other otaku? What are you talking about? I said I'd do it, and gathered everyone, so it's only natural to do it at home. That's how it is, so please take care of me. So I had to take Na somewhere every time we had a Fujinkai. and before I started, I had to prepare a meal and sweets for the wives. Is this really the duty of a wife? Hey, Maya-chan, do you know what day it is today, One day, Mei-chan asked me this with a happy look on her face. What day is it? Well, today is Friday, so it's the day before a holiday. Yeah, today is a more special day. It's the day when you get presents and cakes. Is that some kind of anniversary? Anniversary? Today is name day. Yesterday, the nursery teacher said congratulations to me. Does that mean it's Mei-chan's birthday? Happy birthday, Miko. Congratulations, but I haven't heard anything. My sister is at work today, but I haven't heard anything. What should I do? Oh, I have to contact my sister first. I tapped the teacher's contact information on my smartphone. Oh, hello. I'm at work. I'm sorry. Big sister, today is Mei-chan's birthday, right? Yes. Today, Maya-san will do everything, right? Huh? What? Because my mother said she would have you prepare everything. Haven't you heard? I have a meeting and I don't think I can answer the phone. Well, I'll leave the rest to you. Well, I hurried over to my mother-in-law, who is now relaxing and watching TV. Mom, today is Mei-chan's birthday, right? She said that she called your sister and that her mother said she would leave everything to me. Huh? Oh, that's right. Oh, I forgot. You see, Mayuko has been busy lately, and I said that because Mayu-san is at home. Oh, I'm glad I remembered. Oh, if you hadn't told me that I was glad I remembered, I would have forgotten. Actually, it's already the day. What are you going to do? What are you in such a hurry? You just have to prepare it from now on. You're bored anyway. Huh? Well, all you have to do is prepare a present and a cake, right? And maybe decorate the room a little. Well, they're 4 or 5 years old, so do whatever you want. Oh, I've got a favorite drama coming up, so don't call out to me. I want to concentrate. Hey, wait a minute, Mom. My mother-in-law pushed me hard and threw me out of the room. Oh, I'm in trouble. I look at the clock and it's already past 3 p.m. I have to buy a present and prepare a feast. Oh, and a cake. We've been playing together a lot lately, so I kind of know what kind of present she wants. Mei-chan, what kind of cake do you like? Maybe one with strawberries on it? Or chocolate? I want a homemade one. Well, my mom said that when she was little, her grandpa made her a homemade cake every year. Oh, I can't make Grandpa's homemade one. Why? Grandpa got sick and can't move his hands very well. So let's go buy your favorite cake together today. Oh, not homemade? Oh, May, I want homemade. Oh, I'm in trouble. My father-in-law used to be a pastry chef and a cake maker. So I heard that he used to make cakes for my sister-in-law and husband's birthdays, but now that he's paralyzed, it's probably impossible. You're being a bit noisy. What's going on? My mother-in-law heard the crying and came out of the room. I told you, I want to concentrate on the drama. You say it's a good part. What's going on? Ah, Mei-chan said she wanted it to be homemade. But my father can't do it, and when I said face, she started crying. Well, Mayu-san should make it. You don't have to make her cry like that. May, it's okay if Mayu-san makes it. See, she's stopped crying. Don't get in the way of my prize with something like this. Well, do the rest properly. My mother-in-law said that and slammed the door. I'm going to make it. Ayu-chan, can you make it? Homemade. Well, I've never made it before. Oh, don't cry. I get it. I don't know if it will turn out well, but I'll try. That's fine. Yeah, I did it. Ah. It turned out that way. I've never made a cake or anything properly, but since I said I'd do it anyway, I'll just do my best. I asked my father-in-law to watch Mayu for a little while because it seemed like my mother-in-law couldn't do it, and I quickly went shopping. A present is good. Dinner ingredients are good. All that's left is the ingredients for the cake. I bought the ingredients I searched for on my smartphone and returned home immediately. When I arrived, Megumi-chan came running to greet me. Welcome back. Did you buy the ingredients for the cake? Can I watch you make it? Ah, yeah. And so my first cake making began. I found something relatively easy to make on the internet, and I thought I made it exactly as it said, but when I took it out of the oven, the sponge looked different. It was supposed to be fluffy on the smartphone screen, but it seemed a little thin. No, but I didn't make any mistakes in the way I made it, so it might be fine if I try eating it. I spread cream on it, wrote, "Congratulations Mei-chan," with a chocolate pen, and somehow managed to complete something that could be called a cake. Ah, it's homemade. Mei-chan's first homemade cake. I want to eat it soon. After dinner. Then I decorated the room with some things I bought at the 100 yen shop, and prepared a dinner with Mei-chan's favorite rice cake as the main dish. Mei-chan, happy birthday. Yay. Mei, I want to eat cake. Cake. Now, I'll cut it up, so wait. Hey, it's the part with the strawberries on it. It's delicious. Mei-chan started eating it, and she was more into the strawberries than the cake. My father-in-law looked at my handmade cake as if he was looking at something interesting. It's a bit rude to give something like this to a former professional, but it's Mei-chan's wish, so it can't be helped. My mother-in-law also took a bite of the cake with a strange look in her eyes. Ah, wait, Mei. You should push me to eat this. The sponge isn't fluffy at all. What's that? It doesn't have the texture of something that's been squashed. I'm sorry. It was my first time to make a homemade cake. My husband was a pastry chef, so I'm not good at these kinds of sweets. If you're going to serve something this bad, you should just buy it. But I made it because my mother told me to. You should just say you made it and serve something you bought. You're still small anyway. You don't know that. Maya really has a bad capacity. Come on, Mei, push it down before you eat. My mother-in-law tried to take away the cake plate that Mei was eating. No, Mei, I want it homemade. I want it with my mom. I didn't stop eating, so my mother-in-law seemed to get angry and went back to her room. From this time on, my mother-in-law started to get more aggressive towards me. A year has passed since then. My mother-in-law is still as rough as ever, and I'm still living with the mistress of my parents' house. There's still no 4 years of no one's club and half-class drama. And she also thinks she can use me for free. Then Mei-chan's 6th birthday came. Unlike a year ago, I knew the date and prepared a present. Her sister is still looking for a new husband and not at home, but today we can celebrate perfectly. Or so I thought, but an unexpected interruption occurred. Mayu-san. Mom, what's up? I forgot to tell you that we were going to have a Fujinkai today. Everyone will come before noon, so please come. It's Mei-chan's birthday today. So what? I was thinking that I would prepare various things during the day for the celebration. Decorations and food. Last year it was sudden, so this year I wanted to celebrate properly. It's okay to celebrate as planned. It's okay. The Fujinkai is at noon and Mei's celebration is at night. It's at a different time, so it's totally fine. So, please prepare lunch and snacks for everyone as usual. Everyone will probably start gathering in about 30 minutes. There was a conflict in our schedule. He said it would be okay because the scale is different and the time is different, but I'm the only one who will be broadcasting the preparations. I was planning to prepare the fried chicken and salad during the day, but my mother-in-law's words ruined my plans. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to bother you. I'll be counting on you again today. The Fujinkai members are gradually gathering. For now, I'm going to serve the sandwiches that I was actually planning to serve at the evening celebration as a snack to the Fujinkai members, and then I was preparing the fried chicken and salad. Then, my mother-in-law came into the kitchen, which is unusual. Fried chicken is good. Sandwiches alone won't fill your stomach. Mom, this is not right. All of Mei-chan's fried chicken will be brought in now. Please wait as it will be freshly made. Well, I'm looking forward to the fried chicken. I want to eat it soon. What a thing. My mother-in-law even said that she would serve the fried chicken to the Fujinkai members. Mom, this was a lower child's thunder for the night. Is that so? I can't say it's different now. Because everyone has become a fan of fried chicken. It's your fault for doing that. Preparing for dinner now. Don't confuse me. Buy dinner later. You'll have plenty of time anyway. I had no choice but to fry one dish after another. Of course, there won't be enough for dinner. After the Fujinkai members left, I asked my father-in-law to take care of Mei-chan, and rushed to buy the ingredients we needed, and when I got home, I immediately decorated the room. Speaking of Kiboa, he seems to have been napping in his room all day, probably because he had been having fun with the Fujinkai members or because he ate too much fried chicken. And at night, it was finally Mei-chan's birthday party. Mei-chan changed into a princess dress at her own request. I'm looking forward to today's cake. It's homemade again today. Yes. Mi is 6 years old, so we'll make 6 roso. Hey Yu-chan, do you have roso? Yes. I've bought them properly. Yay. My mother-in-law came in as I was smiling and talking about Mei-chan's hair, who was in a good mood. Mayu-san, you made a homemade cake again. Oh, this year? Ah. Why did you make such a terrible looking cake when you can't even make it properly? Why did you make something like that? I thought I had learned my lesson from last year, but I was shocked. When I opened the fridge, there was a cake that looked like it was homemade. And it looked even worse than last year. I'm not fit to be a wife if I celebrate my first birthday with something like that. That's why I threw it away. Go and buy a new one quickly. What did you just say? That's why I said I threw away that terrible cake. See, you can make it to the cake shop in time now. Go and buy it quickly. Saying that, he threw his bag with my wallet in it in front of me. He said he threw it away. What is this guy doing without my permission? Or rather, he's too selfish. Even though he knew today was Mei's birthday, he prioritized his own convenience and today I can't keep quiet anymore. Mom, what are you doing to me? What is it? Are you so angry? Of course I'm angry. Because you throw away something someone made without my permission. Even if you made it, stop talking about it. It wasn't even something that could be called a cake. Huh. I wonder how you could make a cake that looks like that. What are you saying? Hey Mayu, don't take it so seriously. It's just a cake to celebrate your child. You can just buy a replacement if your cooking was terrible. I told you last year, but our family is way below average when it comes to sweets. So don't serve something that's the enemy's fault. Just because you're a mother doesn't mean you can just throw it away. You're so noisy. Stop going to Subakobe and just buy a new one. A cake that looks beautiful and tastes good. When my mother-in-law said that to me, Mei, who was watching us exchange in a daze, suddenly burst into tears. Ah, Mei's cake. Ah. Yeah. See, you're crying again. I'll make something like that. It's your fault. Just buy it and shut her up. Mom, I didn't make a cake this year. What? What are you talking about? No matter how you look at it, it's homemade, isn't it? If there was a store that sold that, it would go out of business. Yes, it's homemade. But I didn't make it. Do you know what that means? My mother-in-law froze. It's homemade, but I didn't make it. It seems that she has fallen into a state of mental paralysis. Wait a minute. So, then, who made that? Miyako is at work. My husband, too, made May's cake with all his might. Did May make it? May tried hard, but Grandma threw it away. Is that so? But did May make it by herself? That's impossible. That means she helped with her feet too. My mother-in-law looked down from the voice and saw my father-in-law in a wheelchair. Grandma threw away May's cake. May tried hard. Oh, you're not it. I'm not to blame. Well, I thought it was something Mayu made. See, you were disappointed when you saw the cake this person made last year, weren't you? I got rid of it so that this year wouldn't happen. You just threw it away without asking. Why are you being so grateful for being a naughty child? What are you saying? Maya was in the wrong in the first place. If you had told me beforehand that it was something you made, this wouldn't have happened, so I'm not to blame. Shut up. My father-in-law, who is always gentle and quiet, suddenly got angry, and my mother-in-law issued a warning and sat down on the spot. What kind of nerve do you have to throw away something that your cute grandson worked so hard on? It's not that. That's what I've been saying all this time. I didn't know that May made it. It's not that. It's wrong to throw away something that someone else made without asking. But a cake like that looks disgusting no matter how you look at it, doesn't it? That's why I threw it away. You saw that cake last year and thought it was terrible, didn't you? When did I say it was terrible? I was surprised that Mayu, who doesn't usually make cakes, made it for May for the first time. It may have looked bad, but there must be something more important than that. Legs? But Maya's cake was terrible. Maybe you've damaged your brain and become stupid down to your very core. You idiot. No, of course, taste is important, but the most important thing is the feelings of the person who eats it. At that time, May said that she really wanted homemade. I was moved by Mayu's sincerity as she tried hard to face that. But it was really terrible. I thought it was no good because I was used to the authentic taste you made. So I'm not to blame, it was. My mother-in-law didn't want to admit that she was at fault, so she looked at my father-in-law as if she was clinging to him. However, my father-in-law ignored her gaze and came over to May in a wheelchair. While cooking the crying May, her father-in-law turned to face her mother-in-law. You know why May insists on making things by hand, don't you? I'm sure Miyako made them by hand, so you just want to do the same. But if you're going to eat something, it's better to have something delicious. It's a birthday, so no one wants something that tastes bad. You don't understand anything. I knew why I made cakes for Miko and Sosuke in the first place, but I wanted to celebrate with love. It's important that it tastes good, but before that, I wanted to put my feelings into it. And, this time May also had a reason for wanting to make something by hand. The reason why May wanted to make something by hand. May, can you tell me? Why did you want to make it? When her father-in-law asked her kindly, May nodded and looked up. I wanted everyone to eat it. Because Mom is always working hard, and Mayu-chan makes delicious food and comes to pick me up, and Grandpa reads picture books to me. Did you enjoy the cake made by the spirit? Oh, I wanted to say thank you. May's mother-in-law was not mentioned in her words as she explained the reason while crying. Do you understand? That cake was filled with feelings for the person who would eat it. And you threw it away of all people. Do you know what you have done? Her mother-in-law seemed to lose her balance this time due to her father-in-law's yelling. At that moment, the front door rang out. I'm back, May. I came home early today. Mommy-in-law. Came home much earlier than usual. As soon as she saw me's face after crying, she asked in surprise. Hey, what's wrong? Aren't your eyes red? What happened? Did you fall? Did you get hurt? That's not it. I made it with Grandpa today so that Mommy could eat it too. But then Grandma threw it away. Question mark. Mom, what do you mean? Miyako, that's not it. It's a misunderstanding. I didn't know it was May who made it. I just assumed it was Mayu. What are you saying? That's a problem in itself. If Mayu made it, there's no way you could throw it away. What are you doing? B, because I thought it was a badly made cake. Stupid grandma. May's cake isn't bad. Oh, Mom, I don't think it's right to throw it away just because you don't like the look or taste. That's not a daughter-in-law abuse. I've never been that kind of daughter-in-law. Right, Mayu? It seems like my mother-in-law doesn't understand what she's been doing up until now. But when I think about it, isn't this the first time she's shown me a helping hand? Finally, she's come to rely on me. I should give her a helping hand since she's been relying on me, but I slowly open my mouth. Mom always uses me, doesn't she? If this isn't a bride, then what is it? Using a. When did I do that? Because today is Mei-chan's birthday, and you know I'm busy, but you suddenly made me prepare the Fujinkai. Also, because I prepared for Ichan's celebration, I had to go buy the ingredients that were missing because I had to give them to everyone. Why don't you prepare the Fujinkai yourself in the first place? You make me prepare the food and sweets every time, but you complain about what I prepare. Isn't that what a bride is? So, you made your mother Mayu do that? You can't help but be called a bride. What are you saying, Miyako-na? If you say that, then you're the same, aren't you? You leave everything about Mei to Mayu. My mother-in-law can't stand being attacked by herself. Now she's started to involve her stepfather. Because my mother said it was okay to leave it to Mayu. I didn't say to leave everything to her. Even today, you pushed all the birthday preparations onto Mayu. Normally, this kind of thing is something a mother would do. That's what your mother said, right? She said that since you're single, you have to work to make up for the lack of a father. And that if you don't find a new father as soon as possible, it would be a shame for you to lose your eyes. That's why I work overtime and look for a husband on my days off, and I'm doing everything for Mei. Now, the brother-in-law's eyes started to fill with tears. Seeing this, my father-in-law spoke up. Miyako, you don't need to find a father right away. For now, you should think about Mei. This girl always comes to me and talks about you. She says she wants to go out with her mommy and play with her. Oh, is that so? I thought it would be fine at home because my mommy and Mayu are there. Mei always seemed to be having fun. That's because Mayu did a lot to make sure she didn't feel lonely. But I'm sure Mei also wants to be with her real mother. She wants to be with Mei Ma. When her father-in-law spoke to Mei, Mei looked up at Yoshishi and said clearly, "Do you want to play with mommy?" "I'm sorry, mommy. I didn't notice at all. I'm sorry, Mayu. I left everything to you. I've decided I'm going to stop looking for a husband for a while. I've just realized that it's more important to be with Mei than to try to find a marriage partner by force. I'll try not to work late as much as possible. Can you play with Mei?" "Yes. We can play together on our days off." "Yes." Mei happily jumped into Yoshishi's arms. However, an unexpected interruption came into the warm exchange between parent and child. Is your mother-in-law still not discouraged? Miyako, what are you talking about? If you reduce overtime, you won't be able to get a promotion. If that happens, your salary will be reduced, and you should continue looking for a husband. You're getting old, so if you don't find a husband now, you'll be single forever. Don't you understand yet? For Miyako, her daughter is more important than money or a husband. Up until now, you've been telling Miyako unnecessary things, which has made her feel lonely, and Mayu has had a hard time. Hard times? You really don't understand anything. You're always thinking about yourself. Have you ever taken care of me? No, I don't think so. Since I left the military and came home, Mayu was the only one who helped me with meals, bathing, and even taking care of my personal belongings. You don't even make me tea anymore. And that's not all. Since Mayu came to live with us, have you ever cooked, cleaned, or done laundry? Of course not. All you do is watch TV or chat at neighborhood gatherings like Fujinkai. In the first place, we didn't have Fujinkai before Mayu came to our house. So why do you go out of your way to do something like that at our house? I just wanted to brag. I have a useful daughter-in-law. Everyone in the neighborhood has kids, and they complain that none of the kids do anything around the house, but we have Mayu. So I wanted to spread the word that we are blessed with a family unlike the neighbors. In other words, Mom wanted to get the upper hand in the neighbors. That's fine. That's how much Mayu is proud of. Of course it is. Gifu's yelling echoed. Because next-door neighbor Hatsu-san often goes on trips and Shinomi-san brags about getting first place in a karaoke contest, and I wanted at least one thing to brag about. Mom, did you want to brag about me? I couldn't help but raise my voice when I found out the unexpected reason for the daughter-in-law bullying. That's right. Because she will do anything if I ask her. A really convenient daughter-in-law is always bragged about and envied by everyone. A convenient daughter-in-law. Mom, doesn't that just make me look like a fire government? I didn't mean to. Oh, no, if you say that, I wonder if I was treating you like that. Being unaware of it is even worse. You've really always been all about yourself since you were young. But this time made it clear. You can't take care of me, let alone your grandchild. So don't divorce me. What? When my father-in-law declared this, my mother-in-law let out a scream she had never heard before. Wait a minute. What's wrong with you that you want to divorce me? No, it's the result of calm thought. This house has changed a lot since I collapsed. I thought that I had no right to say anything because it was my fault that things had become like this. That's why I didn't say anything at first, but your attitude has been terrible recently. But don't be hasty in thinking about divorce. It's not like I was hasty. I told you before. It's the result of calm thought. I realized. I can't take care of my family. There's no point in being with you. So I'm getting a divorce. What should I do if I get kicked out of this house? Miyako is in this house too, and I have somewhere to go. Oh, that's right. Maybe I should go to Sosuke's place for now. If I take care of her there, I'm sure Sosuke will support me. What am I saying? Everyone looked down from the voice and saw her husband standing there. What's wrong? It's rare for you to come back, isn't it? Oh, actually, I just came back from a long business trip. I wanted to come back as soon as possible because I thought about this house. As soon as my husband answered my question, my mother immediately went in front of him and grabbed both of his arms. It's just the right moment to ask. My father suddenly said he was going to divorce me. I'm sure he's been stuck at home a lot lately and has been possessed by strange thoughts. Please persuade him not to divorce me. You say I'm possessed by strange thoughts. How dare you say something like that? Look, is that so? He's usually gentle, but this anger. He must have gone crazy. I can't abandon such a husband. So persuade your father. You're wrong, aren't you? It's not your father who should be abandoned, it's your mother. I think it's only natural that your mother should be divorced. Oh, what are you talking about? Because you made Mayu worry about everything about this house and your name. I've heard how Mom treated Mayu. You're doing whatever you want just because I'm not here. That's why I didn't want to live with Mom from the beginning. No, you're just a son, what are you saying? As a son, I could imagine what Mom would do. But I couldn't refuse the job or leave my father alone. Of course, I told Mayu about Mom's selfishness. But she said she would take care of Dad in this house. I didn't expect her to take care of my child though. So if Dad says he wants to divorce Mom, I'll agree. Miyako is different, isn't she? You're on my side, aren't you? You were divorced too, so you understand the feelings of a wife who is abandoned. Mom, I'm telling you, I wasn't abandoned. I was the one who abandoned my ex-husband, so I don't know how you feel. And because I've been divorced, I can say this, but if one of the couple thinks it's no good, the marriage won't last. So if my father brought up the idea of divorce, there's no point in saying anything. If that's the case, we'll have to celebrate our cute grandchild from now on. We'll have to make the cake again because of someone. So you, a stranger who can't think about your family, should leave now. And my mother-in-law, who is not a good ally, dropped the box into her Boston bag and left. Then, with the remaining ingredients, Gifu managed to bake another cake. The shape was a bit shabby, but the sponge had a fluffy texture and was delicious, and I thought it was just like my current family. Later, my mother-in-law officially divorced. Thanks to this, I was able to spend my days in peace without my mother-in-law forcing me to do various errands. In the evening, both my husband and my father-in-law came home, and the dinner table, which had been quiet until then, suddenly became lively. Maybe because of that, May's smiles started to increase, and now she doesn't cry even if she spills something. Meanwhile, after the divorce, my mother-in-law started living alone in a cheap apartment. I don't know what she's thinking, but she seems to have registered herself with the marriage consultation agency where my father-in-law was registered and is looking for a husband. My sister-in-law, who happened to be visiting a hotel for work, saw my mother-in-law at a matchmaking party. She was wearing heavy makeup and a pink dress and was flirting with many male participants. However, none of the male participants paid any attention to my mother-in-law. Perhaps because of this, my mother-in-law was quickly deterred and turned down. Everyone gathered here is probably a leftover who has not been chosen in life so far. She shouted out that there is no way that a couple who gets married in a place like this can be happy, and was kicked out of the venue. Even though she is divorced, she still only thinks about herself. Yoshishi was secretly watching the scene from the shadows. It seems that it will probably be difficult for my mother-in-law to remarry. A few years have passed since then, and the shape of our family has changed significantly. Yoshishi remarried a colleague from his company and left home with Na. Then I got pregnant and gave birth to a cute boy, Ryota. He is now 4 years old and thriving. He tries to do everything he can, so it makes me nervous to watch him. My father-in-law is watching over her with a smile. My father-in-law patiently continued his rehabilitation and was even able to walk with a cane. May, who is now in elementary school, sometimes comes to visit, and he often makes sweets as part of his rehabilitation. May is coming again today. Hello. I'm dropping by. Is Grandpa here? May has come. Hey, he's here. Good, good. I thought I was making cookies today? Yes. I'll give some to Mayu and Morita later. Yay. I want to eat the cookies now. Morita is in a good mood when he knows he can eat them. The smell of sweets has started to fill our house.
添加物は毒だって何度言ったらわかるの？無知無教養のダメ母になる気なの？子供がどうなってもいいって言うの？さすがの私ももう我慢の限界だ。じゃあ食べていただかなくて結構です。言い返さないとでも思った？おとなしく聞いてると思ったら大間違いなんだから。私は里美、30歳。夫の正志と2人で暮らしている。夫とは2年前に結婚し、現在第1子を妊娠中だ。仕事は妊娠が分かったタイミングで辞めてしまったので、今のところは専業主婦だ。初心者妊婦の私は、つわりの辛さは本当に驚いた。ひたすら耐える毎日が終わり、ようやく安定期に入って落ち着いたところだ。2人で赤ちゃんの名前を考えたり、ベビー用品を見に行ったりするのが楽しみになっている。近くに住む義両親も誕生を楽しみにしてくれている。つわりの時は随分お世話になった。義実家にお世話になるのは最初こそ身構えてしまったけど、優しい義母のおかげでいい距離感で付き合えていると思う。私の実家は遠方で頼るに頼れなかったからとても助かった。義実家との関係も良好で順風満帆。と言いたいところだが、一つだけ気がかりがあった。義士である。夫には4つ上の姉がいる。なんだかやたらと推しが強い人で、私はちょっと苦手にしている。義士は結婚し、5歳の子供がいるのだが、子供に食べさせるものにとても気を使っている。いわゆる自然派、無添加ママってやつ。自分と子供の口に入るものに気を使うのは悪いことではないと思う。ただ、他人にも押し付けてくるのでちょっと辟易している。何しろこんな調子なのだ。こんなもの食べてたらあっという間に病気になるわよ。添加物は体の隅々を悪くしていくの。さとみちゃん、添加物って気をつけてる？ダメよ、ちゃんと表示見て買わなきゃ。ちょっと添加物に同情したくなる。添加物だって申し訳ないと思いながら添加されてるわけじゃないと思う。初めて義士に会った時、甥の龍二くんのためにキャラクターもののパッケージのビスケットを用意した。龍二くん、はじめまして。これ、おやつにどうぞ。そう言ってお菓子を差し出した。龍二くんは目を輝かせて受け取ろうとしてくれたのだが、すかさず義士が、ごめんね、うちの子こういうの食べないの。と取り上げた。びっくりしてしまった。子供用って書いてあっても、いろいろ危ないもの使ってるからね。さとみちゃんもこれからママになるなら気をつけた方がいいわよ。そう続けられ、曖昧に笑って場を流すことしかできなかった。無添加のお菓子ってあんまり売ってなくってね。本当は手作りが一番なの。でも仕事してるとなかなかそうはいかないでしょ？こういうのなら大丈夫だからね。差し出されたのは欲しいもだった。初対面にもかかわらず、添加物の危険について永遠と話を聞くことになり、面食らったのは記憶に新しい。スマホの通知音が鳴り、画面を開くと、義士からのメッセージが入っている。さとみちゃん、今日の午後、龍二と一緒に遊びに行くね。お土産持っていくからね。にっこりマークの顔文字と一緒に送られてくるメッセージを見る限り、とてもいい人に見える。でもなぁ、また添加物についての熱いレクチャーが始まるのかと思うとうんざり。龍二くんが一緒なだけまだマシか。義士はいつもこちらの予定を聞かず、一方的に予定を伝えてくる。こちらの都合が悪いと、せっかく龍二が楽しみにしてるのに、とか、もう向かってる途中なの、急に言われても困るわ、とか勝手なことを言う。私が悪いの？事前に予定を伝えてもらうように夫に言っているのだが、少し離れた年のせいか、夫が要望を伝えても流されてしまい、なんだかんだ言いなりになりがちだ。もやっとすることも多いのだが、私は一人っ子だし、兄弟の関係がよくわからない。夫の姉というものは、だいたいこんな感じなのだろうか。お姉さん午後から来るって。 夫にそう言ってスマホの画面を見せると、夫も渋い顔をした。
姉さんまたか。俺がこの間文句言ったから、直接里美のところに来たんだな。ごめん、予定あるなら俺が適当に相手しておくよ。
今日は何にも予定ないし、リュウジ君も来るみたいだからいいけど、急に来られるの結構困るんだよね。
結構強く言ってるんだけどな。昔から我が強くて、弟の言うことなんかなかなか聞いてくれなくて困るよ。本当にごめんな。
リュウジ君が食べれそうなおやつあったかわからないや。
土産持ってくって書いてあるし、なんか持ってくるんだろ？何にも用意しなくて大丈夫。なんか言われたら急に来ること言ってきたそっちが悪いだろうって言い返すよ。
じゃあ、その時はよろしくね。インターホンが鳴り、出迎えると、ニコニコした技師とリュウジ君が立っていた。さとみちゃん元気？急にごめんね。リュウジ、保育園お休みだし、行くとこなくって。口ではごめんと謝ってるけど、絶対思ってないよね。心の中でつぶやきながら笑顔でする。リュウジ君、いらっしゃい。ニコッと笑うと、リュウジ君も笑顔で返してくれる。
さとみおばちゃん、こんにちは。お腹大きくなったね。
リュウジ君は技師に似ず、素直ないい子だ。旦那さんに似たのか、保育園の教育の賜物か。とにかく、中身が技師に似なくて本当に良かった。もう8ヶ月だからね、お腹の中で動くのわかるよ。
そうなの？男の子なの？それとも女の子？
おばさんね、どっちが生まれてくるか楽しみにしてるから、お医者さんに内緒にしてもらってるの。
そうなんだ。ねえねえ、お腹触ってみてもいい？
いいよ。中へ案内しながらリュウジ君と話していると、技師が割って入ってくる。はい、これお土産。普通のお店のって、マーガリンとかショートニングとか使ってて怖いじゃない？ケーキ屋とかは表示されてないから何入ってるか分かったもんじゃないし。これ、ロールケーキなんだけど、無添加だし、米粉使ってるからグルテンフリーなのよね。
ああ、グルテンフリー？ありがとうございます。
勢いに押されつつ、曖昧に笑うしかない私だった。別に小麦アレルギーの人がいるわけじゃないのに。リビングに入ると夫が顔を出した。
姉えさん、うちに来るときはちゃんと事前に連絡入れてって言ってるだろ？入れたじゃない、さとみちゃんに。当日に連絡もらってもこっちの都合があるだろ？いいじゃない。どうせ大した予定なんて入らないでしょ？さとみちゃん専業主婦だし。
そんなことより今日はいいもの持ってきたのよ。私もだんだん分かってきたのだが、技師がいいものというときは、一般人にとってはまずろくなものじゃない。でも後々面倒なことになるのも嫌なので、聞いておくことにする。技師は小さな箱を取り出す。中には小瓶が3本入っている。これ、すっごくいいオイルなの。アロマオイルとしてはもちろんなんだけどね、肌荒れの時に塗ったりとか、お料理に入れたりとか、あとは風邪気味の時にちょっと飲んだりとかね、いろいろ使えるの。
え？アロマオイルって食用じゃないですよね。飲んだりして大丈夫なんですか？
普通のは飲んじゃダメよ。でもこれは特別。すっごくいいオイルだから大丈夫なだけ。添加物だらけの市販薬なんかよりよっぽどいいものよ。技師は小瓶を机の上に並べる。これ1本1万円するの。
うわぁ、高いですね。
でもね、特別に5000円で買えるの。半額よ。すごいでしょ。半額でも1本5000円のアロマオイルは買わないかな。心の中でそう思いながら愛想笑いをする。さとみちゃんも欲しいと思って買っておいてあげたから、これ3本で1万5000円ね。
買っておいてあげたから？
理解が追いつかず言葉を失っていると。
おい、姉さん。
リュウジ君と遊んでいた夫が技師を睨んだ。
いきなり押しかけてきた上に変なもの売りつけるなよ。
変なものとは何よ。本当にいいものなんだから。さとみちゃんも妊婦さんだし、体には気を使うべきよ。ね？欲しいって思うでしょ？ 私、強い香りちょっと苦手で。夫に目線で助けを求める。姉さん、押し売りはやめてくれ。何よ、そんなに怒らなくたっていいじゃない。せっかく買ってあげたのに。後から欲しいって言っても半額でなんて買えないんだからね。もういいわよ。ロールケーキ食べましょう。キッチン借りるわね。ちょっと姉さん。夫の話をさらっと流し、キッチンに入っていく技師。さも当たり前のように戸棚を開け、お皿やコップを出している。信じられない。突然、技師の大きな声がして、びっくりして振り返ると、砂糖の袋を持った技師が立っていた。さとみちゃん、こんなお砂糖使ってるの？こんなって、普通のお砂糖ですけど、白い砂糖って体に悪いって知らないの？体も冷やすし、栄養もないし、妊婦さんなのにこんな体に悪いもの使ってるなんて本当にびっくり。茶色いお砂糖がいいのよ。ちゃんと選びなさいね。姉さん、何使おうが勝手だろ。人の家のことにいちいち口出すなよ。あんたは黙ってなさい。いい、さとみちゃん。スーパーとかで売られてるものってちゃんと選ばないと毒だらけなのよ。これからママになるんだし、食べるものには一層気を使っていかないと、子供がまともに育たなくてもいいの？技師は冷蔵庫を開けると勝手に中を漁り始める。やめて、いくらなんでも人の家の冷蔵庫勝手に開けないで。驚きすぎて言葉が出ない。技師はテーブルの上にかまぼこやウインナーを並べている。これも、添加物だらけよ。さとみちゃん、前に見方教えたわよね。スラッシュより後はみんな添加物なの。ちゃんと表示見て買ってる？さとみちゃん専業主婦なのよね。ちょっと手抜きすぎじゃない？生まれてくる子が頭悪くなっちゃうわよ。ここまで言われるなんて思わず、言葉に詰まっていると。いい加減にしろよ、姉さん。夫が声を荒げて間に入ってくれた。兄弟喧嘩が始まったので、どうしようかなと目を泳がせていると、龍二くんが心配そうに私の袖を引っ張った。大丈夫だよ。向こうで遊んでよっか。しばらくすると喧嘩が終わったのか、不機嫌そうな顔の夫と、ロールケーキのお皿を持った技師が出てくる。お待たせ、おやつにしましょう。それでね、妊娠中って添加物の影響を受けやすいのよ。まさか気にしてないなんてことはないわよね。赤ちゃんの発育に影響出たら嫌だものね。ちゃんと探せば無添加の商品って意外とスーパーでも買えるのよ。例えばね。技師は一方的に喋り続けている。もういい加減にしてよ。あら、もうこんな時間。買い物寄りたいし、そろそろ行くわ。さとみちゃん、ストレス溜めちゃダメよ。技師はそう言って嵐のように去っていった。技師が帰るとどっと疲れが出てくる。大丈夫か、さとみ。姉さんがごめんな。間に入ってくれてありがとね。なんかお姉さんどんどんパワーアップしてない？人んちの冷蔵庫勝手にチェックする？無添加も結構だけど、自分の家だけでやってほしい。それに、アロマオイルも、飲むって何？怖すぎる。なんか添加物通り越して変な方向行ってない？そのうち、霊言、新たかな、なんちゃらって売りに来るやつじゃん？ストレス溜めちゃダメよってあなたがストレスなんですけど。姉さんのめり込むタイプだからな。お正月が憂鬱だよ。毎年お正月には夫の実家で新年会をしている。長男の嫁である私と義母で料理を用意するのだが、義士は何かと小言が多いのだ。自分は準備手伝わないくせにね。義母はさすが母親というか軽く流してしまうのが、私はなかなかそうはいかない。俺もなるべくフォローするから。脱添加物がパワーアップしすぎて怖すぎる。絶対いろいろ言ってくるじゃん。もう自分で作ってよ。夫の顔を見たら、彼は一瞬真顔になって、そして優しく私に微笑んだ。何かひらめいた？この状況打開の切り札があるの？そして年が明けお正月。
さとみちゃん、よく来てくれたわね。明けましておめでとう。今年もありがとうね。義母がニコニコと迎え入れてくれる。ついて早々で悪いけど、早速始めちゃいましょうか。新年会のメインはお寿司なのだが、おせちやその他のおかずは毎年義母と2人で用意している。それぞれで作っておいて盛り付けるだけだ。お母さん、これ、栗きんとんです。あと煮物も。ありがとう。妊婦さんなのに頼んじゃってごめんね。いえ、まさくんも手伝ってくれたので。台所に入ってすぐ違和感を覚えた。私にとってはたまにしか使わない台所なのに。お母さん、なんか模様替えしました？よしこがね、最近体に悪い調味料は変えろって言ってね、お砂糖とかお味噌とかいろいろ取り替えていったのよ。よしことは私の苦手な技師の名前だ。ああ、それで。私と義母はテキパキと準備を進め、料理を並べていく。あの子、最近無添加生活とか言って、食材とかかなり気を使ってるみたいなのよね。最近ってことは昔は違ったんですか？違ったわよ。りゅうちゃんが生まれてからかしら。でも、こんな風に人の台所まで口出すような感じじゃなかったんだけど。さとみちゃんにも迷惑かけてるでしょう。ごめんなさいね。全く、じゃなくて、いえ、そんな。とりあえず笑ってごまかす。でもね、あの子料理苦手で全然できなかったのよ。だから料理に興味持ってくれただけでも嬉しい気持ちもあるのよね。そうなんですか。私もちょっと感化されちゃってね。健康診断で貧血気味って言われたから思い切ってフライパンもお鍋も鉄のに買い替えちゃったの。高かったし、お手入れがちょっと大変なんだけどね。鉄分取れていいのよ。そうなんですね。そういえば産婦人科の先生も鉄のフライパンで料理するのをおすすめって言ってました。妊婦さんも鉄分必要だものね。そうなんです。だからちょっと気になってて。あ、ちなみにどのくらいしたんですか？せっかくだからいいの欲しくて、2万近くしたかしら。それは結構しますね。もっと安いものももちろんあるわよ。鉄のフライパンって焦げつきやすくてね、ちょっと使い方にコツがいるの。もし興味があったら使い方も教えるから、うちの使ってみる？いいんですか？ありがとうございます。母さん、トイレの電気交換できたよ。夫が台所に顔を出した。あら、ありがとう。準備そろそろできそう？姉さんたちもそろそろ来る頃だな。母さん、ちょっと話があるんだけど。なーに？話って。もうちょっと準備あるんだけど。あとは運ぶだけなので私やっときます。そう？じゃあ、さとみちゃんよろしくね。料理をすべて並べ終わった頃、インターホンが鳴り、義士とリュウジくんがやってきた。こんにちは。あれ、お母さんは？あ、なんか、まさくんが話があるとかで。さとみおばちゃん、明けましておめでとうございます。リュウジくん、明けましておめでとうございます。ねえ、タマは？タマというのは、お母さんが飼っている猫のことだ。さっきは縁側で丸くなってたよ。あそこ日が入っていてあったかいから。そこへお母さんと夫が戻ってきた。おかえりよしこ。りゅうちゃんいらっしゃい。明けましておめでとう。りゅうちゃん、おじいちゃん呼んできてくれるかしら？はーい。全員が揃い席に着いた。義士は並んだ料理を寝踏みするようにじっと見つめている。さとみちゃん、今年も栗きんとん作ってくれたのよね。この煮物もさとみちゃん？はい、実家の両親がさつまいもも野菜もたくさん送ってくれました。それ、ちゃんと無農薬？わかんないですけど、農薬使ってるって話は聞かないですよ。わかんないって。義士はふんと鼻で笑った。よしこ、せっかくいただいたものなのにそんな風に言うのはやめなさい。自分たちが食べるものなのよ。もっと安全に気を使うのが当然でしょ？
お母さんは毒を食べさせられて平気なの？見てよ、この栗。こんな黄色いの絶対に着色料使ってるわよ。甘露煮って全部そんな感じで。でもお砂糖はちゃんと天才糖にしました。砂糖を変えるのなんて基本中の基本でしょ？お相撲さんが四股踏むのと一緒よ。栗だってちゃんと自分で作ったらこんな色にならないでしょ？添加物だらけの料理なんて体に悪くて食べられたもんじゃないわ。新年会の料理にこんな手抜き料理出すなんて長男の嫁として恥ずかしくないの？いきなりなんだ？正月の席だぞ。口を慎んでくれ、姉さん。よしこ、やめなさい。夫と義母がかばってくれるが、義士は止まらない。だいたい専業主婦なんだから、時間はいくらでもあるでしょ？私の家族に毒を食べさせるつもり？人の料理を毒呼ばわりするなんて。はい。もういいです。今押してはいけないボタンが押されました。おとなしい義妹。説教していい気持ちになれる義妹はもうやめました。じゃあ、お姉さんは食べなくていいです。え？私は姉の席から自分の料理を下げ、そして静かな口調で続けた。お姉さんのお口に合わないものを用意してすみませんでした。ご覧の通り手抜きの料理しか用意していませんので、召し上がらない方がいいでしょ？は、私はみんなのために言ってるのよ。それを開き直って逆切れなんて恥ずかしくないの？お姉さんこそ人の料理にケチばかりつけて、そこまで言うならお姉さんが作ってくださいよ。なんですって？その時、夫が静かに席を立ち、私の肩に手を置いた。そして姉に向き直る。里美の言う通りだな。姉さんが作ってくれよ。無添加の体にいい料理。なんで私が？料理できるようになったんだよな。こんなにうまそうなものたくさん作ってるんだから。これ、姉さんのアカウントだろ？それは、前に得意げに言ってたもんな。フォロワーが何人とか。姉さんの話からちょっと調べたらすぐ見つかったよ。これ、姉さんちだよな。見るからにうろたえる義士。SNS には美味しそうな料理やお菓子の投稿が並んでいる。あ、この写真、この前のロールケーキだ。スマホを覗き込んだ義母が嬉しそうに言う。あら、こんなものまでできるようになったの？すごいじゃない。よしこ、何か作ってちょうだいよ。わかったわよ。作ればいいんでしょ？作れば。台所のものを自由に使って大丈夫よ。この前よしこが買ってきてくれたものばかりだから。母さん、せっかくだから、この中から食べたいものリクエストしたらどうだ？そうね。じゃあ、茶碗蒸し、美味しそうね。お寿司にも合いそうだし。じゃあ、俺は肉じゃが。義士は夫を睨みつけ、台所に入っていった。夫と相談しておいてよかった。夫が義士の SNS を見つけ、これは使えると言ったのだ。義士がいよいよ失礼なことを言ってきたときは、これを切り札に逆襲してもいいと。義士は玉ねぎを取り出すと、ザクザク切ってフライパンに並べる。じゃがいもは丸ごと鍋へ。あんな強火じゃあっという間に黒焦げになるんじゃ。そう思って見ていると。ちょっと、そんな風に見られたら気が散るじゃない。できたら持っていくから出てってよ。と、義士に台所を追い出された。私は気になっていたことを夫に尋ねてみた。そういえば、さっきお母さんと何話してたの？最近の姉さんの暴走ぶりについてね。あと今日は姉さんにも料理させるから黙って見ててって。姉さん昔から料理は壊滅的なんだよね。俺も最近知ったんだけど、姉さんちの料理ってほとんど兄さんが作ってるらしいんだ。だから絶対に里美の料理の方が上だよ。しばらくして、ドヤ顔の義士が台所から出てきた。できたわよ。机に並んだものを見て反応に困る。見るからに焦げた玉ねぎの入った肉じゃが、異様に茶色い茶碗蒸し。食欲をそそるとは言い難いビジュアルだ。どう？野菜もちゃんと無農薬のオーガニックよ。安心して食べられるわよ。さ、食べましょ。はあ。 夫が茶碗蒸しを一口食べ、顔をしかめる。
なんだよこれ。なんか石炭みたいな味がするぞ。石炭なんて食べたことあるの？
と思ったが、今はスルーしよ
う。甘い辛いじゃなくて、えぐいとしか表現できない。何入れたらこんな味になるんだよ。
失礼ね。ちゃんと出汁から取って作ったんだから。
出汁？まさか。
お姉さんもしかして、出汁と麦茶のパック間違えてません？
そんなはず。
私は台所に入り、出汁と麦茶を取り出した。どちらも茶色のパッケージ。似ているといえば似ている。もっとも、それぞれにはちゃんと商品名が書かれているのだが、中身はそっくりだけど。どっち使いました？私はにっこりと笑っていった。お姉さん、ちゃんと表示見ましたか？義士は無言で私を睨みつけている。よしこ、いい加減にしなさい。
お母さん？
ちょっとは料理できるようになったと思ったのに、何ですかこれは。あなたの料理の方がよっぽど恥ずかしいです。さとみちゃんにもちゃんと謝りなさい。違うのよ。普段はちゃんと。慌てた様子の義士。そうだ、リュウジはママの料理がいいわよね。添加物っていう毒がいっぱいのものなんて食べたくないわよね。急に話を振られて、リュウジくんが周りをキョロキョロ見回す。本当のことを言っていいのよ。みんなに教えてあげなさい。
本当のことを言っていいの？
そうよ。リュウジくんはちらっと義士を見てからうつむく。
ママの。
義士が勝ち誇ったように笑う。しかし、リュウジくんの言葉には続きがあった。
料理は美味しくないから食べたくない。
固まる義士。
ママの料理はなんか変な匂いするし、味もなんか変だし、美味しくない。本当は毎日パパの料理がいい。お弁当だって食べたいもの全然入れてもらえないし、みんなみたいな唐揚げとかウインナーとか入れてよ。
変な匂いなんてしないし、ちゃんと美味しいわよ、ほら。義士はじゃがいもをつまんで一口食べる。
なにこれ？
義士は悲鳴を上げ、大きく咳込むと、水をガブガブと飲み始めた。義士の反応に少しだけ肉じゃがをつまんでみる。ものすごく辛い。もしかしなくても塩を入れました？念のため聞きますけど、どのくらい入れたんですか？一つまみよ。ちゃんとレシピ通り作ったわよ。一つまみってどれくらいのことですか？知ってるわよ。馬鹿にしないで。このくらいでしょ？義士は片手で掴む動作をする。それは一つまみじゃなくて一つかみって言うんですよ。そんな基礎も知らないのに分かったように人の料理に口出して恥ずかしいと思わないんですか？
玉ねぎ真っ黒焦げじゃん。どうやったらこんなんなるんだよ。
夫が箸で真っ黒の玉ねぎを持ち上げる。義母がハッとした様子で台所に駆け込んだ次の瞬間。よしこ！怒りの形相の義母の手にはフライパン。おそらくさっき話していた奮発して買ったという高級鉄フライパンだろう。無残にも真っ黒になった玉ねぎがこびりついている。お母さん？あんたって子は、お母さんの大事なフライパンこんなんにして。義母は、義士にフライパンを押し付けると、玄関から外に放り出した。ひたすら困惑している義士に、さらに義母は、たわしと洗剤を押し付ける。フライパンがきれいになるまで、外の水道で洗ってらっしゃい。義母はピシャリと玄関を閉めると、私たちの方に向き直り、笑顔で言った。ごめんなさいね。さ、早くお食事にしましょうか。結局、義士は寒空の下、フライパンの焦げと格闘する羽目になったのだった。新年会の事件以来、義士はすっかりおとなしくなり、無添加生活もほどほどになったようだ。夫が見つけてきた SNS の料理は、なんと義士の旦那さんが作ったものだった。 義士は登校するためにあれこれ注文するので旦那さんも困っていたらしく、夫に相談が来ていたそうだ。それについても義士は義父母からこってり絞られていた。今は義母が時々実家に呼んで料理を教えているらしい。今まで甘やかしてきた私にも責任があると言って、義母には珍しくかなり厳しくしていると夫が言っていた。私はというと、元気な女の子を出産した。赤ちゃんのお世話にはまだ昼も夜もないので大変だが、本当に可愛い。義母と一緒に龍二くんもよく遊びに来て可愛がってくれる。本当にいいお兄ちゃんだ。食べ過ぎないならいいってママが言ってくれたの。龍二くんのカバンから出てきたのはクッキーとスナック菓子。すべて禁止されることはなくなったようで、保育園のお弁当も食べたいものを入れてもらえるようになったらしい。龍二くんの食べているお菓子を娘が興味津々に眺めている。もっと大きくなって食べられるようになったら一緒に食べようね。ニコニコと娘に話しかける龍二くんに心が和んだ。